fleet even reached the second planet. They received praise and flattery from the leaders there. He even said he should prepare a generous gift for Zhao Chun. Since Zhao Chun was so thoughtful, he didn't waste the starship's fuel by going to protest. That's why Zhao Chun hadn't made any moves for about half a month. He waited until this battle was over before starting to patrol his star system. Only true strength can make the forces on these planets fully submit to you. Loyalty doesn't matter. What matters is that they submit because of your power. During the next half-day, Zhao Chen's Lion King fleet traveled between various planets and heavily populated stars. Many of the forces on these planets quickly sent messages of praise and submission. They also started using the name Lion King Star System instead of TY Star System. It seems they had already noticed what happened on the first planet. Task 2. Control and occupy the entire FY Star System difficulty level. Be reward 20 task points and 7,000 credits. The task has been completed. Please claim your reward. After some traveling, Zhao Chen successfully finished this task. He clicked to receive the reward. System points, 16,420 task points. 85 system points and task points increased again. From now on, the Xianglong fleet began returning to the third planet where the dwarf race lives. Commander, Ailey suddenly spoke. Zhao Chen snapped out of his thoughts and looked at Ailey. What is it? Ailey said. Although we defeated the fire lizard tribe's attack this time, since they are an interstellar force living in this reef star domain, they definitely won't give up easily. With our current strength and fleet condition, it's hard to deal with the fire lizard tribe without some losses. Also, although we now control the Lion King star system, it's very far from the Xianglong star system, more than half a month's journey one way. If our Xianglong fleet stays here, we would need to build a logistics supply route from the Xianglong star system to the Lion King star system, which would be very costly. If we don't station forces here, the fire lizard tribe could retaliate at any time, posing a serious threat to our Lion King star system. Hearing Ailey's words, Zhao Chen nodded in agreement. I understand these things. I've already thought about how to handle this matter, Zhao Chen said with a smile as he looked at Ailey. When he first decided to control the Lion King star system, formerly FY star system, Zhao Chen had already considered this problem. He thought of many solutions, but in the end, he chose the simplest and most direct one. That was to bring the Xiaolong star system and the Lion King star system closer together. Currently, because of the distance, a one-way trip between the two star systems takes nearly half a month. But what if the one-way trip could be shortened to just a blink of an eye? Like neighbors. And the only technology capable of doing this is Stargate technology. Zhao Chun browsed the T3 shop system. And indeed, he found the technology he wanted. T3 Bright Moon class Stargate. This Stargate technology perfectly matches Zhao Chen's current needs. First, it doesn't require a double star system environment. Because the Xiaolong star system has only one star, and so far, Stargate technology has required 2 stars. Zhao Chen's Stargate technology breaks this barrier, allowing construction within the Xiaolong star system with almost no environmental requirements. Second, it covers a large area. Most Stargates have a limited usage area. For example, previously, Zhao Chun needed dozens of Stargates to travel from the Star Glory Empire to the Reef Star Domain. It's like transferring buses. Most of the time, 2/3 of the half-month was spent on this. He needs a super long-range Stargate, ideally one that can directly connect the Xiaolong star system to the Lion King star system. The T3 Bright Moon class Stargate can do this. Its maximum range can even span from one end of the Star Glory Empire to the other. Third, short construction time. Currently, Stargates within the Star Glory Empire are divided into several types: T2, T3, and T4 levels. This also indicates different levels of technology, with higher levels having better performance. For example, the main star systems of several star domains use T4 Stargates, and the entire Star Glory Empire has fewer than 10 T4 Stargates. Some smaller star systems use T3 Stargates, and more remote, older star systems still have T2 Stargates. Most Stargates in the Reef Star domain are T2 level. Even these T2 level Stargates take 3 months to 6 months to build. T3 Stargates require 1 to 3 years, and T4 Stargates can take over 10 years. Zhao Chen cannot wait that long. Based on his understanding, building a T3 Bright Moon-class Stargate with a T2 Iron Hammer heavy starship industrial ship can allow up to 10 T2 Iron Hammers working at the same time. It only takes 2 months to complete. This perfectly meets Zhao Chen's needs: short construction time, long travel distance, and no need for a double star system. These 3 advantages made Zhao Chen decide to use the T3 Bright Moon-class Stargate. With this choice, Zhao Chen's 2-star systems, though far apart, are almost like neighbors. However, there are disadvantages too. The first is the high cost. Each T3 Bright Moon-class Stargate costs 2 billion star coins. Since Zhao Chen wants to connect the Xianglong and Shirwang star systems, he needs to build 2 gates, totaling 4 billion star coins. The second disadvantage is capacity. Because these stargates are built quickly, they have limited transport capacity. The T3 Bright Moon-class Stargate Zhao Chen has can only handle 1/20th of the capacity of a stargate of the Star Glory Empire. For example, their stargates can transport 1 million starships a day, but Zhao Chen's can only move 50,000. Given Zhao Chen's current situation, these 2 stargates will be built secretly, especially on the Xianglong star system. Choosing the right location is very important to hide it from everyone, especially from the Star Glory Empire. So, capacity isn't a big concern. Only the starships of the Xianglong fleet will use these gates. Considering all these reasons, Zhao Chen decided to build his own stargates for the Xianglong fleet. Would you like to spend 15,000 system points and 50 mission points to exchange for the T3 Bright Moon-class Stargate blueprint? Zhao Chen's mind moved. Congratulations on obtaining the T3 Bright Moon-level Stargate technical blueprint. System points: 1,420 mission points, 35 after exchanging for the T3 Stargate technology. Zhao Chen's system points were completely used up, and many mission points were also spent. But regardless, having his own Stargate technology means the Xianglong fleet has taken a big step forward. Secretary Ai Li, who was nearby, saw Zhao Chen's words and didn't ask further. As a secretary, she only offers advice when necessary and doesn't speak unnecessarily. However, there's still a problem. It seems I don't have enough star coins. The cost of 2 T3 Bright Moon-level stargates is 4 billion star coins. But I only have 1.4 billion left, with a shortfall of 2.6 billion, Zhao Chen thought to himself. In this case, he can only wait for Governor Chu He to pay the remaining balance for the first batch of T3 Flame Dragon-class medium-sized interstellar destroyers construction technology licensing fee. At the same time, he needs to go on-site to understand the location for building the future T3 Bright Moon-level stargates. On the way back to the dwarf third planet, Zhao Chen opened the star map of the Lion King star system to start choosing sites for the future T3 Bright Moon stargates. This site selection is very important. The location must be hidden. In the end, Zhao Chen found several suitable spots, all located on the edge of the Lion King star system, even entering the boundary space of the star system. These places are rarely visited, so no one would think there is a stargate there. Near the geostationary orbit of the third planet, Zhao Chen watched the video window in front of him. On the screen was clan leader Bakin, whose face was filled with uncontrollable excitement. He had witnessed the terrifying combat power of the Xianglong fleet. The originally mighty Fire Lizard clan's interstellar fleet had lost more than half of its ships in less than an hour. Before this, clan leader Bakin couldn't have imagined such a scene. Clan leader Bakin, I need to return to my interstellar territory. But don't worry, I will leave most of the interstellar ships here. Later, my interstellar industrial ships and transport ships carrying raw materials will arrive to repair and supply the damaged ships, ensuring the safety of the Lion King star system. Some of our people have decided to go to your star system, Commander. There are about 50,000 of them, clan leader Bakin mentioned at this moment. Zhao Chen smiled, which was expected. Fighting the Fire Lizard clan not only strengthened Zhao Chen's position in the Lion King star system, but also increased his influence among the dwarf clan. All right, I will arrange 2 heavy starships of the Reindeer class to transport these 50,000 people to my star territory. If more people gather later, the remaining T2 Reindeer ship can also set out, Zhao Chen said. Thank you so much, Commander. Clan leader Bakin expressed deep gratitude. Zhao Qin not only saved the dwarf clan, but also gave them another option for their future. It's no exaggeration to say he is a benefactor to the dwarfs. After finishing communication with clan leader Bakin, Zhao Qin called in Secretary Charlotte and Ailey for a small meeting. Considering the importance of the Lion King star system to us right now, we need to station a fleet here for the time being. But I have to leave for a while. Charlotte, Ailey, you will stay in the Lion King star system during this period. I will send the T2 Iron Hammer class heavy industrial starship and transport ships with supplies to support here, repairing the damaged starships. We will communicate every half day to ensure your safety. Be careful of possible retaliation from the Fire Lizard clan. Remember, the Lion King star system is important, but your safety is even more important to me, Zhao Qin said seriously, looking at Charlotte and Ailey. Ailey looked at the commander with some emotion. Rest assured, Commander, while you're away, we will take good care of this place, Ailey said firmly. Charlotte nodded slightly, indicating she understood clearly. After giving some instructions, Zhao Qin left without hesitation, heading alone in a T3 Blizzard-class light starship toward the edge of the star system. To avoid alerting the Fire Lizard clan, he created the illusion that the T3 Blizzard was still within the Lion King star system. Zhao Qin, on his return journey, deliberately did not use the Lion King star system's gate. Instead, he traveled at warp speed, which took an extra day and a half, to a nearby star system. There, he used the local star gate to leave the Reef starfield and return to the Xiaolong star system. When the T3 Blizzard returned to the Xiaolong star system, it was already nearly 2 weeks later. Now, it was the end of May. Zhao Qin first went to the Xiaolong base in the Beiji star system. Originally, there were 12 T2 hammers here, but now only 10 remained. 2 of the T2 hammers and several interstellar transport ships had already arrived in the Lion King star system. The latest news was that the T2 hammers were repairing their fleet outside the dwarf planet's third planet. The supplies from the interstellar transport ships were enough to restore the repaired warships to full combat readiness. However, this movement caused some of the original construction plans to be delayed. Zhao Qin looked at the data screen showing the status of 12 T2 Hammer-class heavy star industrial ships. 2 were in the Lion King star system. For T2 Hammers were busy building T3 Goddess Academy-class starships, T3 Andromeda-class medical ships, T3 Illusion Stinger light stealth bombers, and T2 Snow Mastiff heavy star battleships. They were expected to be completed by the end of June. The remaining 6 T2 Hammers had just finished a construction phase. At this moment, these 6 T2 Hammers were recovering their external manufacturing platforms. They would be assigned new tasks and sent elsewhere. This period has been tough on you, Zhao Qin said, looking at Lilith, who hadn't been seen for nearly 2 months. For the fleet, Lilith replied, watching Zhao Qin. Her gaze carried more weight than when she first joined the Xiaolong fleet. You've seen the Stargate construction plan. Zhao Qin mentioned the Stargate project. So far, only Charlotte, Lilith, Ailey, and Annie, the project leader, knew about Zhao Qin's plan to build the Stargate. Lilith nodded and said, I saw it. The investment is huge. But if it really allows quick movement between the Xiaolong and Lion King star systems, it will have a great strategic advantage in the future. So this Stargate must be built. I think the same way, so I decided to first move the 6 T2 Iron Hammers back to the Falcon star system. Because the remaining 4 T2 Iron Hammers and the ongoing projects cannot be moved, we will wait until those 4 starships are finished before transferring them back to the Falcon star system, Zhao Qin said. Lilith nodded. Zhao Qin's plan also shows that he is now focusing on building in the Falcon star system. Recently, has there been any big news from the Starshine Empire? Zhao Qin has been away for nearly 2 months and needs to catch up on current events. Lilith began to update Zhao Qin. Overall, there haven't been any major events. The insect threat in the Lotus Water system has been controlled after the Empire's military entered. So far, all the Hive Mother ships have been destroyed. The next stage will be long and complicated. It involves dealing with the insect units on the invaded planets. Compared to space, the situation on planets is more complex. You can't just destroy the planetary ecosystems with global orbital bombardments from starships. Ground troops must clear every inch of land, which takes a long time. It could take from a few months to several years. Restoring order on these planets to pre-invasion conditions could take decades. That's why the insect invasion is called a terrible disaster. After Zhao Qin became a popular figure during the early part of this event, his attention quickly faded. It's likely that someone is controlling the public opinion behind the scenes to reduce Zhao Qin's exposure. The forces behind this could be Governor Blue or Governor Chu He. Either way, it's not necessarily a bad thing for Zhao Qin. He prefers to stay low-key and doesn't like being in the spotlight. Besides these, the big news is that in October this year, the Empire will hold a military procurement auction. This auction mainly targets starships for the Empire's station fleets in various star regions. The focus is on T2 starships, especially star cruisers. Rumor has it that the Hurricane Consortium is determined to win the T2 starship orders in this auction. The purchase order for the T2 interstellar destroyers alone could be worth up to 20 billion star coins. This is a very large order. Interstellar destroyer military purchase order. Zhao Qin showed a hint of interest. He asked Lily to arrange the transfer of those several T2 hammers to the Xiongling star system. Then he returned to the captain's bedroom and sat at his desk. He sent a holographic video request to that number. Within 3 minutes, the woman's figure appeared before Zhao Qin. "Miss Liaki, I didn't expect you to respond so quickly," Zhao Qin said, a bit surprised. Liaki smiled politely. She set Zhao Qin's number to the highest permission level, so even if she was sleeping or bathing, she would be notified immediately. "This time you contacted me about the T2 Mastiff-class medium interstellar destroyer," Liaki asked. Zhao Qin nodded. "Yes, mainly about 2 things. One is about this T2 Mastiff. I heard that the Empire's military is planning a large-scale procurement bidding for station troops across various star regions. The Hurricane Consortium is determined to win this bid." Liaki nodded. "Yes, this procurement is the largest in the past 50 years, especially since rumors suggest that the share of orders for T2 interstellar destroyers could be much higher than we imagined. But the exact amount will only be known in October. As everyone knows, the Empire's border forces, which are on the front lines and highly capable, will soon be equipped with T3 interstellar warships. This means many T2 destroyers will be phased out. The most likely destination for these phased-out T2 destroyers is the second-line Imperial forces in various star regions. So, many speculate this might be the last large-scale military purchase plan for T2-class interstellar warships. Everyone hopes to seize this final opportunity. At that time, they will use the funds to heavily develop T3 warships and capture the T3 market. The Hurricane Consortium is definitely thinking the same. They have invested heavily in T3 warship research and need this funding. So, they are determined to win. "And you?" Zhao Qin looked at Liaki with a gentle smile. Liaki flicked her hair and then sent a top-secret document to Zhao Qin. Zhao Qin looked over the T2 Tibetan Mastiff's bidding plan for this October's military purchase. It clearly targeted the Hurricane Consortium at every turn. "You're quite bold," Zhao Qin teased. Liaki looked at Zhao Qin with her beautiful eyes. "Mr. Zhao Qin has already prepared the stage for me. If I didn't have this determination, I wouldn't deserve to be your partner." Zhao Qin admired Liaki, especially her stance against the Hurricane Consortium. He still remembered the banquet in the Blue Star domain. Since they had shown such hospitality, shouldn't he return the favor? "All right, let's talk about something else. I need a large amount of raw materials, estimated to cost around 40 to 50 billion stars. And I need a secret transportation route, meaning no one should know these materials are for me," Zhao Qin said, looking at Liaki. 50 billion worth of raw materials? Liaki was surprised by this number. 50 billion is a huge amount. If it's through official channels, it's manageable. But making it hidden and secret is another matter, Liaki said with some difficulty. "But there might be someone who can do it." "Who?" Zhao Qin asked. "You've met her before," Liaki replied. Zhao Qin's mind immediately thought of the woman wearing a mask, with black patterns on her face and crimson eyes. "Blood Mary Mercenary Group." Zhao Qin said the name of her organization. Liaki nodded. Blood Mary has channels to find hidden raw material supplies and is very skilled at transporting these materials. They are very familiar with the border space between star systems, almost like their own backyard. They always deliver orders to the right customers in the shortest time. But they charge a high price, she added. "How high?" Zhao Qin asked. "Suppose you want to transport raw materials worth 50 billion stars. She would take 30%, which is 15 billion stars. But the benefit is, she gets paid upon delivery and is very trustworthy. Many people in the interstellar black market are willing to do business with her. But because of her way of doing things, she has offended many people, Liaki said. A 30% commission is an extremely high profit, isn't it? Currently, Zhaochen urgently needs a batch of raw materials to build the Stargate and to expand his fleet. All aspects are necessary. Help me contact her. I want to discuss this deal with her, Zhao Chun said seriously. Liaki was surprised. Zhao Chun had previously asked her to advance money for 20 million stars, but now he was willing to discuss a 50 billion star deal without hesitation. I will help you get in touch. You should get a reply within 3 days, Liaki replied. Good. Zhao Chun looked at Liaki and asked, about that woman with the red-eye mask. How much do you know about her? How did you meet her? Honestly, Liaki's style is completely different from that woman's. Liaki recalled, it was when I was just starting to do business with my father. I was responsible for a long-distance trade shipment at the time. I led my fleet of star transport ships to deliver goods to the United Interstellar Warhammer Confederation. During the voyage, we crossed a risky zone and happened to meet the red-eyed woman, who was fleeing from enemies. You probably don't know her name, right? Actually, no one knows her real name. Everyone who knows her calls her red-eyed. Over time, that became her code name. At that time, she was escaping in a battered shuttle. I don't know why, but I instinctively took her in. I helped her avoid her enemies and took her all the way to the United Interstellar Warhammer Confederation, where I nursed her back to health and let her stay in my room. Over time, we became familiar with each other. When she left, she told me I could contact her if I needed anything. Honestly, I asked her for help quite a few times. I've repaid her kindness long ago, but she still helps me with some things. Of course, I pay her a fee for her services. As for what I know about her, not much. She has many secrets and wouldn't reveal her true self even to me. I've never seen her face without her mask. Listening to Liaki's story, Zhao Chun gradually formed an impression of this woman called Red-Eyed. This is a woman who appears cold on the outside but is warm inside. She cares about her feelings but is not good at expressing them. Anyway, when working with her, as long as you don't do the things she hates most, there shouldn't be any problems, Liaki said. What does she hate most? Zhao Chun asked. Slavery, especially the selling of young children, Liaki said seriously. Our Beiyin has never been involved in the trade. Perhaps that's also why Qi Tong doesn't dislike my relationship with her. As for why, I guess it has something to do with her childhood. There are rumors that her brother was kidnapped and sold. When her parents found out, they discovered that due to a malfunction in the oxygen system of the cargo hold on the interstellar transport ship, all the young slaves in that hold died, including her brother. Zhao Chun was stunned. Trading? Buying slaves to serve on the ship. Does that go against her principles? Okay, I understand. Please contact her for me. I'll handle the rest myself, Zhao Chun said. All right, Liaki agreed. After that, the communication ended. It would take a few days for Liaki to reply. Meanwhile, Zhao Chun was not idle. He led 6 T2 Hammer-class heavy industrial ships on their way to the Xiongling territory. The Xiongling base left No. 0 Blizzard to guard and oversee the construction of 4 types of interstellar warships. Because T2 Hammers are slower than T3 Blizzard ships, this journey would take about half a month. On the 3rd day back in the Xiongling star system, Zhao Chun was greeted by a guest on the bridge. He was staring at a little girl with dark circles under her eyes and messy, fluffy hair. Looking at Annie in front of him, Zhao Chun didn't recognize her at first. Here are the detailed construction plans for the 2 stargates you requested, Annie said, staggering as she walked to the bridge, as if she might fall at any moment. She reached Zhao Chun, sent an electronic file to him. Then, ignoring the surprised looks of the crew around her, she walked to the captain's chair, grabbed it with both hands, and used her legs to climb up. She looked exhausted, slumping onto the captain's chair. How long have you not rested? Zhao Chun looked at Annie's weak appearance and said with some concern. Since you gave me the technical data for the T3 Stargate, I worked overtime following your plan and finally developed a construction plan. I've managed to finish it. Annie half closed her eyes, raised her trembling hand, and pointed at the electronic report in front of Zhao Chun. It was as if that was Annie's last wish before she passed away. Zhao Chun glanced at the electronic document. He had indeed assigned this task to Annie before. He could have done it himself, but such tasks can't always be handled personally. They need to train others. Zhao Chen wanted to train Annie, so he naturally entrusted her with this task. Annie surprisingly did not disappoint and really completed the task. After reading it, Zhao Chen found no problems at all. He couldn't help but admire Annie's talent. She was quite gifted. Your plan is very good. It can greatly reduce the construction time of the Stargate and improve the efficiency of the T2 hammer, Zhao Chen praised. Annie, with half-closed eyes, asked, Commander, can I get a bonus? Bonuses are possible. Zhao Chen suddenly realized something. He pointed at Lilith behind Annie. Lilith, why are you bringing a chocolate cake? What? A chocolate cake? Annie suddenly perked up, sitting on the captain's chair with her legs crossed, eyes shining as she looked behind her. But she only saw Lilith with empty hands and a smile. At that moment, Annie felt a gaze behind her and thought something was wrong. Annie was suddenly pulled down from the captain's chair by her collar. You're tired, huh? Zhao Chen looked at Annie with a half-smile. Annie clasped her hands behind her back, drew circles on the ground with her right foot, and looked a bit embarrassed. I just look so radiant whenever I see you, she said. As soon as she finished speaking, Zhao Chen tapped her on the head. Be serious, Zhao Chen said. I just want a little bonus. I'm currently on the level of a deputy captain's meal standard. But after we return to the Xianglong star system, I still have to take care of my mother and younger siblings. That's 5 mouths to feed, Annie mumbled softly. Zhao Chen looked at Annie with a proud and mature expression. You did a good job this time. I will approve a special 1-month meal allowance for you. Zhao Chen finally awarded Annie a bonus to encourage her. Annie immediately beamed with happiness and spread her arms, rushing toward Zhao Chen. Commander, I told you you're the best to me. I love you so much. Zhao Chen gently patted Annie's chubby face. First, tell me about your construction plan. Annie giggled and quickly got serious, beginning her explanation. Based on your request to build a T3 Stargate, if we rely solely on 10 T2 Hammer-class heavy star industrial ships to do the construction, it will take 2 months. But if we set up an industrial base inside a planet to produce some mid- and low-end parts and modules, then transport them to this Stargate construction site, we can reduce the construction time by 30%. Also, because we currently lack enough raw materials, I divided the project into several phases. As long as the raw materials arrive before each phase begins, there will be no problem. Our Stargate in the Xianglong star system can be finished by the end of July. The Stargate in the Shirwang star system can be completed by the end of August, allowing my father's planet to handle some of the mid- and low-end part production. As for raw materials, they will be transported by interstellar cargo ships. It's a bit troublesome, but there's no other way. There are also detailed construction steps. Zhao Chen listened carefully as Annie explained everything systematically and clearly. The 2 Stargates are expected to be operational before the end of August. Although, once the Stargate in the Xianglong star system is finished, it could theoretically connect with other Stargates. But at present, without full confidence, Zhao Chen is not willing to connect with external Stargates in the short term. Everything is ready now, just waiting for the final push. No, it should be said, just waiting for raw materials. Before Zhao Chen's fleet uses warp speed to travel from the Arctic Fox star system border to the Xianglong star system, Li Yaqi finally contacted Zhao Chen, saying that Qitong is willing to negotiate a trade with him. Zhao Chen arrived at a holographic room at the scheduled time. Opposite the table, as expected, was the girl with a mask and red eyes. I heard you want to work with me? The girl with the mask and red eyes looked at Zhao Chen with a cold tone. Yes, Zhao Chen replied. Li Yaqi has already told me the details of the cooperation. You need raw materials worth 50 billion star coins, and the route must be very secretive. Where is the destination? The girl asked. The border of the Xiaolong star system. Zhao Chen provided a coordinate. Although this coordinate reveals Zhao Chen's location in the Xiaolong star system, it is still some distance from where he plans to build the Stargate. There is still a risk of exposure. But it's unavoidable. All things carry some risk. Is there a deadline? The girl asked again. Zhao Chen said, multiple shipments are possible, but everything must be delivered before the end of July. Since it is now the end of May, there are 2 months left. According to my rules, this deal requires a 30% commission. Is that okay? The girl proposed her fee. That's fine, Zhao Chen agreed. Although it's a bit expensive, it's acceptable for the Stargate. After all, his trusted grandfather, Governor Chu, is backing him. The girl continued, "Within these 2 months, I will deliver the raw materials worth 50 billion star coins in 2 to 3 batches to your designated location. Once the 50 billion star coins worth of materials arrive, you need to pay me a 1.5 billion star coin commission. I accept any payment method, including the Empire account or the Galactic Alliance account. For the procurement funds, I will send you the amount needed 3 days before each batch is purchased. Since this is our first deal, you can send the funds to Lee Yaki first, who will act as an intermediary to guarantee the transaction. Both the Empire account and the Galactic Alliance account are highly confidential. Unless someone is deemed extremely dangerous, their account information is not publicly accessible. Even the royal family has no right to view them. Because of this high level of secrecy, both the Empire's accounts and the Galactic Alliance's accounts are highly trusted. Even some people involved in gray area activities use these accounts. No problem. I'll do as you say, Zhao Chen replied. That's settled then, Qi Tong said, then immediately cut off communication. This was very efficient. I don't know how she managed to get materials worth 50 billion stars, but she must have some secret method. Zhao Chen thought that her method was basically smuggling. Smuggling always involves some extra costs during the purchase and transportation process. If we estimate about 10% extra, then she would still earn a 5% commission. If this deal goes smoothly, he could do more business with Miss Qi Tong in the future, which would help expand his options. After confirming the deal with Qi Tong, Zhao Chen's fleet quickly reached the edge of the star system. After a long journey at faster-than-light speed, in mid-June, Zhao Chen's T3 Blizzard, along with 6 T2 hammers, arrived at the Xianglong star system. This was his second time returning to the Xianglong star system. Because of the previous internal conflict, which involved a bloodbath among some nobles and their departure, the star system was much weaker than before. But, compared to before, there were fewer troubles. Thanks to the arrangements made by his older sister, Jiang Hong, everything was somewhat orderly. Zhao Chen did not return to his main Xianglong planet, but headed straight toward the star system's border. After about half a day of travel, the 7 interstellar warships exited faster-than-light mode. What came into view was a belt of small planets and asteroids. The fleet slowed down and carefully entered the asteroid belt. After about 10 minutes of normal travel, they passed through the belt. At this moment, a planet appeared before Zhao Chun and his team. Is this where my mother, brother, and sisters live? Annie, who was a bit excited, almost pressed herself against the window to look. Although people can live here, growing edible crops and raising edible livestock is very difficult. After the first group of pioneers settled here for a while, no one else came, and the planet gradually became abandoned. After Warner selected the location, she finally chose this place as the best spot to settle the dwarf race. Nearby, there is the edge of the galaxy, with one side being the galaxy boundary and the other side a small asteroid belt. The Xianglong galaxy, which was already rarely visited, is even less likely to be chosen for travel routes now. This makes the other side of the galaxy boundary space suitable for building a stargate, Zhao Chun explained nearby. This was the location he had agreed upon with Warner. It was perfect for settling the dwarf race and building a stargate. This plan met Zhao Chen's requirements. Arrange for a T2 Iron Hammer class heavy starship to repair the T3 Blizzard here. Then head to the Stargate construction site to prepare for the first phase of building the Stargate. Zhao Chun instructed a charming demon girl nearby. Yes, Commander. The demon girl nodded obediently and went to handle the task. This demon girl was very young, only about 1.4 meters tall. Zhao Chun had a deep impression of her. Her name was Bessie. She was one of the first dozen demons to volunteer to stay behind and refused to leave the Xianglong fleet. Perhaps because she knew what she wanted, Bessie was very diligent. Her talent might not be as good as Lily and Ailey, but she worked hard to show her value. When Lily and Ailey were busy elsewhere, Bessie was assigned to Zhao Chun and temporarily became his secretary. After giving instructions, Zhao Chun and Annie took a shuttle down to this small planet. The first and second groups, totaling 100,000 dwarves, had already been settled here. With their strong hands-on skills, they had built a city on this planet. There were no issues with living arrangements, and food was not a problem. Zhao Chun provided them with a batch of nutritional meals, so their short-term diet for the next few months was secure. There was also a group of female orc crew members here responsible for guarding the dwarves. Brother, Zhao Wanner led a group of half-beast soldiers to greet Zhao Chun immediately after he stepped off the shuttle. How are things here? Zhao Chun looked at the city in front of him, which was built with broken stones. Although simple, the dwarves living here seemed to be doing quite well. In the distance, an industrial base was under construction on the ground, and there was also a foundation for a space elevator. All of this was being prepared to turn this place into an industrial hub in the future. Finished parts and modules would be transported to near-Earth orbit using the space elevator, making things more convenient. In the future, some industrial bases could also be built in near-Earth orbit, especially for large parts that are better assembled in space. Zhao Wanner replied, "The dwarves follow the management well. As long as there is enough food, there are no major problems. Let's go inside and take a look," Zhao Chun said. "Follow me." Zhao Wanner led the way, guiding Zhao Chun and others through the dwarf city. Along the way, Annie was looking around eagerly, as if searching for something. Zhao Chun glanced at Zhao Wanner, and she immediately understood his meaning. "Annie, your family has been assigned to a better house up ahead." Zhao Wanner pointed to a house in front. Annie paused for a moment and looked at the commander. Zhao Chun smiled and nodded at her. Annie quickly ran over. Although it was called a house, it was actually a stone-built home. When she pushed open the door, she saw her younger brother and sister. "Annie, comma," shouted her youngest brother happily, opening his arms. Annie looked at her two younger brothers and one sister. "Where are mother and your sister Nana?" Annie asked, looking around the house, but not seeing her mother or second sister Nana. Nana and mother went to work at the factory, her third sister said obediently. Even though the half-beast sisters said we could get free nutritious meals for the first month here, mother and Nana chose to go help at the factory. Hearing this, Annie felt relieved. At least she knew her mother and siblings were doing well here. At this moment, Zhao Chun looked at the dwarf city around him, observing nearly 100,000 dwarfs. He already had a series of ideas in his mind. He had come up with a plan to make good use of these dwarves. After inspecting the city where the dwarves lived, Zhao Chun gave Annie a day off. He then returned to the T3 Blizzard. On the bridge of the ship, he and the succubus Bessie worked together to create a plan. This plan meant that the Falcon Dragon fleet would enter a new era. Inside the dwarf city, Annie's mother and younger sister Nana returned home after work and saw Annie playing happily with her brothers and sisters. The family was very excited and happy to be together. Annie also took out some natural food she had obtained by trading her meals and shared it with her siblings. Her brothers and sisters had enjoyed this kind of food before on the interstellar transport ship. Once they tasted this delicious food, they had been thinking about it for a while. "Annie, giving us food like this might affect your work with your fleet." Annie's mother looked at her daughter with some concern. Annie shook her head and said, "Our commander is very kind and treats us well. Although I secretly brought this food, the commander knows about it and has approved of my actions. Otherwise, do you really think I could bring this food away from the starship?" That's good. It's great to see you living well with your commander. We're happy about it. This is a rare opportunity, so you must seize it," Annie's mother said emotionally. "Mom, don't worry. I will not only live well myself, but I will also make sure our family lives well too. When my dad, that stubborn old man, comes here, our whole family can enjoy life happily. Mom, try this beef. It's really delicious." Annie handed a piece of beef to her mother. This table of natural food, unless Annie actively fed her mother, she would only eat the rice in front of her. You all eat. Just eat," Annie's mother declined, but under Annie's insistence, she still took a bite. At this moment, the street outside suddenly became lively. Many people could be heard discussing excitedly. "What's going on?" Annie and her family were curious and went outside. They saw several light projections in the city square, with a group of dwarfs gathered around. "Sir, what's happening?" Annie's mother asked, holding on to a nearby dwarf. "It's good news. Very good news. I heard that the leader of our star system is about to start recruiting workers and crew members. There are jobs available. Not only can you get nutritious meals, but you'll also receive a salary. The benefits are great," the dwarf excitedly explained. Hearing this, Annie and the others were momentarily stunned. They told the younger children to stay at home, while Annie and her group followed the crowd to the nearest square. There was a virtual light projection announcing something, and around the square, there were several virtual screens displaying information. Annie, her mother, and sister stared at the virtual screen. It showed recruitment information, divided into two sections. One was for industrial-based jobs. The details were very clear. Just working could earn certain meal standards. For example, the lowest level jobs provided 3 nutritious meals a day and a monthly salary of 0. 3-star coins. Although the salary was low, the main benefit was free meals. All jobs were divided into 10 levels based on ability. Each level had different benefits. For instance, the highest level, level 10, offered a 5-star meal standard, with food made from natural ingredients in the employee cafeteria and a monthly salary of 3-star coins. This kind of benefit was comparable to the treatment of senior officers and some fleet leaders. In addition, they were recruiting female crew members for the Falcon Dragon fleet, who could serve on interstellar industrial ships. Such good benefits. Nana looked at the recruitment info, her eyes shining. Annie's mother also said excitedly, "With these standards, we can definitely support my younger siblings." She had been worried about what would happen after the first month of free nutritious meals promised by the Falcon Dragon leader ended. But now, there was a way out. Just then, Annie's handheld terminal popped up with a message. This is a message sent to all members of the Xianlong fleet. It shows that the benefits for all fleet members have been updated. The benefits are now divided into 10 levels based on rank. For example, a crew member who is a department head has a higher level. Those who are vice captain, captain, or secretary have even higher levels. This system of promotion encourages everyone to work hard. The better you perform, the better your benefits will be after promotion. For example, Annie is currently at level 8, which is a relatively high level in the fleet. Her monthly meal allowance is 30-star coins. She also receives a salary of 10-star coins each month. This is much better than what ordinary workers get. The benefits for fleet members are posted below those of regular workers. When people compare, many are surprised. The benefits seem too good to be true. Unfortunately, only women are recruited. Many male dwarves here wish they could join just to work with Zhao Chun. "Big sister, I want to join the Xianlong fleet like you," Nana suddenly said with firm eyes. Although Nana is not yet an adult, there are no restrictions for the fleet. As long as she has the right skills, she can join. Nana's talent is not as good as Annie's, but she is still a very talented star craftsman. "I think it's a good idea. Then, our 2 salaries will be enough to support our families," Annie said excitedly. At this moment, good days seemed to be calling to these dwarfs, lifting their spirits. They had some worries before moving here. Now, they have no regrets about their decision. Although they left their homeland, they are about to start a new life here. T3 Storm Level Light Interstellar Battlecruiser, Bridge. Since the new benefits for regular employees and fleet members were announced, the response has been very positive. In just 5 hours, the recruitment points on the planet have already attracted over 10,000 regular employees. The number of fleet members has exceeded 1,000. However, they still need to pass skill assessments before officially starting work, reported the demoness Bessie, sharing this information. Zhao Chen sat on the captain's chair with a gentle smile. "This is all within our expectations. But, Commander, aren't your standards a bit too high? Especially regarding the wages. Our crew members only need enough to eat and drink. Even if they get paid, it doesn't really matter," said Bessie, the demoness. She had originally suggested only 1/3 of the current benefits for the crew. In her view, those benefits were already quite good, but she didn't expect the commander to raise them threefold. "Since you are now part of my Shadow Dragon fleet, I will treat everyone equally. There are no slaves or free crew here. I want everyone to know that as long as they work hard for the fleet will reward them. I will never let your efforts go to waste," Zhao Chun said seriously. If he only treated some crew members differently because of their status, it could cause conflicts inside the team. Zhao Chun wouldn't do something so foolish. As for whether the benefits are too high, Zhao Chun knew very well that to make the team run fast, they need good supplies. He planned to give them things like fruits and clothes as wages. The money would just circulate within his starship. In the dwarf city, it was even simpler. He set up natural food stalls, like for alcohol. Zhao Chun believed that once the dwarves received their wages, they would turn around and buy drinks. The cost to him was less than 1/10 of what he paid out. He was using minimal effort to win people's hearts. This business was incredibly profitable. Since your benefits are so good, maybe you should consider giving your sister a raise too. A video window popped up, showing Zhao Wan'er teasing him. Cough, cough. We treat everyone equally, Zhao Chen said with a pretend serious tone. Zhao Wan'er rolled her eyes and started talking about serious matters. Your return is perfect timing. The academy semester is about to end, so I plan to go back for a visit. Things on the dwarf planet are also progressing steadily, step by step. Let's go back together. I also need to visit the academy. As for here, just leave it to Annie and Bessie to handle, Zhao Chen said. Zhao Chen's main task this year is to graduate from the Northern Star Academy, which probably means going there to complete some formalities. To earn the big rewards for this year's task, we should show some respect. Plus, now is a good time to return, as it coincides with the launch of 4 interstellar warships at the Xianglong base. 3 of these are T3 class interstellar warships, which will greatly boost the strength of the Xianglong fleet. Also, Wan'er, please contact Jiang Hong and ask her to send our recruitment information for the Xianglong fleet within the galaxy. Although our galaxy doesn't have many talents, as long as they are willing and pass basic health checks, we can recruit anyone, Zhao Chen said. Once the T3 Goddess Academy class starship is in service, Zhao Chen plans to quickly train these new soldiers. All female soldiers again, Zhao Wan'er looked at Zhao Chen. Zhao Chen smiled slightly. What do you think? Zhao Wan'er rolled her eyes at Zhao Chen and then went to handle her affairs. After giving instructions about the dwarf planet, Zhao Chen and Zhao Wan'er drove the brand-new T3 Blizzard back to Northern Star Academy. At a spaceport, a T3 Arkham-class medium interstellar battleship was docked at a berth. The Fire Lizard Clan leader looked up and saw 2 human men laughing and joking with a woman nearby. Didn't the Fire Lizard Clan leader refuse our cooperation terms before? Why is he approaching us today? One man asked with a light laugh. The Fire Lizard Clan leader forced a smile and said, I was not thinking clearly before. Now I believe working with Sun Xiao and everyone else is the wise choice. May I have a chance to meet Sun Xiao? Compared to these 2 drunken fools, the Fire Lizard Clan leader preferred to speak with Sun Xiao. How? Do you look down on me? Han Tianwang squinted and stared at the other. If Zhao Chen were here, he would be surprised to see Han Tianwang and Zhang Haoren from the North Star Academy in the Reef Star domain. I didn't mean that. The Fire Lizard Clan leader forced a smile. We can tell what you're thinking. I heard that you fought in a star system under your command and lost nearly half of your fleet. This greatly weakened your Fire Lizard Clan's strength, so you want to join us to protect your remaining territory. And maybe also to get revenge on your enemies, Zhang Haoren said with a light laugh. The Fire Lizard Clan leader lowered his head. Han Tianwang looked up proudly and said, Young Master Sun, you won't see me anymore. I am not in the Reef Star domain now. Before leaving, young Master Sun entrusted me with all the affairs of the Reef Star domain. So, Mr. Han. The Fire Lizard Clan leader could only look at Han Tianwang with hope again. Your Fire Lizard Clan can join us, but the terms of cooperation are different now. The share you get will be cut in half, Han Tianwang said with a serious look. The Fire Lizard Clan leader felt angry inside, but had no way to refuse. You decide. As long as you are willing to send your fleet to help me get revenge, we will remember your kindness, he said. Since you're so sincere, tell us, who is your enemy? Han Tianwang asked with interest. The Fire Lizard Clan's strength in this star domain is only 2nd tier, but not weak. They managed to cut their fleet in half in a short time, which is definitely not ordinary. I don't know what faction they belong to. The Fire Lizard Clan leader shook his head. Zhang Haoren chuckled. You got beaten so badly that you ran all over the place, and you don't even know what faction they are from. Yes, that group suddenly appeared in the FY star system. I haven't figured out why yet. But now they have taken over the FY star system, and rumors say they renamed it Lion King star system. They only have about a dozen starships, but each one is very powerful, including a very strong T3 starship. That T3 starship is very fast and has terrifying firepower. They also have a powerful starship, best at close combat attacks, even fearless against my T2 battleship. Listening to the Fire Lizard Clan leader's endless talk, Zhang Haoren felt a strange sense of familiarity. Just 10 or so interstellar warships beat your fleet into chaos. And you still don't know who they are. How can we help you get revenge? Han Tianlong chuckled and shook his head. I have battle footage. The Fire Lizard Clan leader raised his hand and released several clips of combat. Among them were a T-3 interstellar battleship, a T-2 carrier starship, a T-2 missile ship, and a T-2 ship. Zhang Haoran suddenly stood up, his eyes bloodshot as he stared at the battle footage. These interstellar ships belonged to Zhao Chun. At this moment, Han Tianlong also stepped closer, carefully examining the footage. Surprisingly, they looked quite similar, especially in their fighting styles. They resembled what they knew. For example, that powerful ship was the T-2 Black Rhinoceros class heavy combat, famous from the Battle of the Northern Star Academy. And that incredibly fast T-3 battleship looked very much like the legendary T-3 Blizzard class light starship cruiser. Do you have clearer information? Han Tianlong asked seriously. I have a communication clip with the fleet commander, the Fire Lizard Clan leader said, releasing the footage. Although the man on the other end wore a mask, Zhang Haoran immediately pointed at the figure and shouted, "That's right. That's Zhao Chun. This guy." Even if he were turned to ash, Zhang Haoran would recognize him. Previously, Zhao Chun had humiliated him at the academy, making him kneel and causing him to bleed heavily. The incident even spread within the academy. Reluctantly, he and Han Tianlong ran away this semester and haven't appeared there since. Han Tianlong squinted, surprised to meet Zhao Chun here. Young Master Han, this is a rare opportunity for us. If we can kill Zhao Chun or capture him here, it would be a big win. If we kill him, we eliminate a threat for ourselves. If we capture him, we can also learn the technology behind those starships. Rumor has it that Zhao Chun holds many starship technologies. Even the governor of the Blue Star Domain once wanted to imprison him, Zhang Haoran said excitedly. Han Tianlong was a bit worried, but now Zhao Chun is the grandson-in-law of Governor Chu He. If we attack him, and Governor Chu He finds out, we could be in big trouble. Sir Han, you forgot. The person above young Master Sun has always had a bad relationship with the Chu family. This is basically us taking revenge for that person. Also, we are in the Reef Star Domain. If we eliminate Zhao Chun, who would know it was us? And you might have forgotten the rumors in the academy. Sister Su Lan is very fond of Zhao Chun. As long as Zhao Chun is alive, do you think you still have a chance with Sister Su Lan? Zhang Haoran subtly provoked Han Tianlong to turn against Zhao Chun. Zhang Haoran had been waiting for a chance to deal with Zhao Chun, but it had taken too long. He dreamed of killing Zhao Chun. All right, then let's do it. I will mobilize Sun Shao's fleet stationed in the Reef Star Domain to go to the Lion King star system. Han Tianlong remembered Su Lan's cold attitude towards him, the rumors in the academy, and Zhao Chun's previous attitude towards him. He decided to seize this opportunity. No, we can't act too quickly, Zhang Haoran said. Why not? Zhang Haoran explained. The academy is about to finish the graduation month. Rumors say Zhao Chun was rewarded for his actions earlier. He will graduate at the end of June, so he must not be in the Reef Star Domain now. Our target is him. If he's not in the Reef Star Domain, attacking now would be pointless. So, we should spread the news that we are attacking the Lion King star system to lure Zhao Chun back. Han Tianlong showed understanding and looked at Zhang Haoran. It seems you really hate Zhao Chun deeply. I wish I could personally cut him down, Zhang Haoran said fiercely. The nearby Fire Lizard Clan leader didn't fully understand what was happening, but he roughly knew that these two were enemies of the man who had attacked him. Anyway, as long as they were willing to send troops, that was enough. Young masters, that guy's fleet is very strong, especially that T-3 starship, the Fire Lizard Clan leader warned. Don't worry. This time, we will gather at least 5 T-3 starships. I don't believe Zhao Chun's methods are invincible, Han Tianlong said confidently. Zhang Haoran's face showed excitement. He finally got his chance for revenge. At this moment, Zhao Chun, rushing back to the North Star Academy, sneezed several times in a row. He didn't know who was so concerned about him. When Zhao Chun's T-3 Blizzard-class light interstellar battleship appeared again at North Star Academy, it was already late June. At this time, the starport at North Star Academy was filled with the most interstellar ships of the year. Many students were graduating and going on vacation, so many ships gathered here. Most ships would hover in the outer space docking area, waiting for people to take shuttles into the academy, because docking space was very limited. But who is Zhao Chun? He is an outstanding student at North Star Academy and a famous star. When his T3 Blizzard ship appeared, the starport staff automatically came to ask if he needed docking services. When Zhao Chun was about to pay the docking fee, the staff enthusiastically said that all ships belonging to Zhao Chun could dock at North Star Academy's starport for free. He didn't expect to still enjoy this treatment now, Zhao Chun thought to himself. Zhao Chun was on the bridge, looking down at the Star Academy. Starting this month, I will truly leave here. Although he hadn't spent much time at North Star Academy, it was the starting point for Zhao Chun in this world. No matter how long he had been away before, he knew he would return someday. And this time leaving, he didn't know when he would come back. Honestly, he felt a little reluctant. Still reluctant? I think you missed the girls in the academy, Zhao Wanner suddenly said. Zhao Chun coughed and said, speaking of the girls, I actually need your help with something. What is it? Zhao Wanner looked at Zhao Chun with suspicion. Zhao Chun raised his hand and sent an electronic document to Zhao Wanner. She looked at it and recognized it immediately. It was the recruitment plan for the Xiongling fleet on the dwarf planet they had sent earlier. Help me post this at the academy, with the same conditions as written here. Prioritize selecting civilian crew members. It doesn't matter if their qualifications are not perfect, as long as they are qualified. That's enough, Zhao Chun said. Yes, Zhao Chun has set his sights on students from the North Star Academy. Generally, most students who graduate from North Star Academy each year first join the Empire's military to gain experience, then choose their future path based on their own situation. Besides noble students, most are ordinary students. However, ordinary students usually do not study in fields like command, which require high financial resources. Hey, when did I become your recruitment manager? And why do I have to recruit female soldiers? Zhao Wanner said, a bit resistant, especially since she was only recruiting women. By the way, I will soon have a second T3 interstellar warship ready for service, Zhao Chun casually mentioned. Zhao Wanner immediately straightened up, smiling happily at Zhao Chun. Brother, leave this to me. I promise I will find you a group of excellent crew members. As for the latest T3 interstellar warship to be commissioned, as the saying goes, don't let good water flow to outsiders. Seeing Zhao Wanner's eager expression, it was clear that nothing could be done with just one starship. Then it depends on your attitude in handling this, Zhao Chun said with a smile. I'll get it arranged right away, Zhao Wanner said without hesitation, preparing to leave the ship and handle the matter. To maximize the effect, she even contacted a few close friends to help her. There are only a few days left until the graduation ceremony. I might as well take a good look around this alma mater since I probably won't have such an opportunity again, Zhao Chun said before leaving the ship. He changed into an outfit that could hide his figure, wearing a hat and sunglasses. He still remembered the terrifying scene when he almost got overwhelmed by female students during his last visit to North Star Academy. This time, he had to be more careful. After changing clothes, Zhao Chun noticed that many people were attracted by the T3 Blizzard, but luckily, his departure went unnoticed. North Star Academy is quite large, with teaching areas, residential zones, and even entertainment and leisure areas. It can be called a small interstellar city. Zhao Chun was wandering through an artificial park, where many couples were enjoying a relaxing time. Suddenly, he heard a loud argument coming from a corner of the park. He looked over and saw a man and a woman shouting at an elderly person in a wheelchair. A young girl was standing in front of the elderly person, trying to protect him. The girl's clothes were stained with spilled drink, and she looked upset. The man was very angry and was yelling at the elderly person and the girl. The girl kept apologizing and trying to explain, but the couple's voices drowned out hers. She looked like she was about to cry. The elderly man in the wheelchair tried to speak, but couldn't say anything, looking worried. Zhao Chun felt the girl looked familiar, as if he had seen her somewhere before. The girl tearfully begged, sorry. We didn't see you. Please don't scold my grandma. We didn't mean to. I'm sorry. The man scoffed, sorry? Is that all? Old man, you're still wearing some metal? A medal from the Empire? Probably fake. He snatched the medal from the elderly woman's chest. The elderly woman became emotional and tried to get her medal back. That's my grandma's military medal. Please give it back to me. The girl shouted, now very upset. But she was small and weak compared to the man. The man mocked, a military medal? This junk looks like it was bought at a street stall. He then threw the medal on the ground and raised his foot to step on it. Suddenly, A hand appeared and lightly pushed the man's chest. The man took a few steps back. A man wearing a hat and sunglasses crouched down, gently brushing dust off the metal and helping the elderly woman put it back on. A young man knelt in front of the wheelchair, carefully placing the metal back around the elderly woman's neck. Seeing the metal return to her chest, the old lady's emotions calmed down. Her thin, fragile hand slowly lifted, clutching the metal tightly. The young man looked at the man in a hat, dressed very carefully, and frowned as he shouted, "Kid, I advise you not to interfere. This old man is blind and careless. He accidentally pressed his wheelchair on my girlfriend's foot, and he dirted her clothes. Are your girlfriend's foot and clothes more precious?" The man in the hat said coldly. "Of course, they are much more valuable than this old man." The young man replied with disdain. "Can they be more important than this medal, which symbolizes the honor of the elder for participating in the White Cloud Star System Defense War in 2955? The man in the hat raised his head, staring at the young man. "What is the White Cloud Star System Defense War?" The young man muttered. In 2955, the mechanical race launched a very dangerous attack. Their fleet attacked several military bases near the borders of the Starry Empire. One of the bases in the White Cloud Star System was very important. It had a military stargate connecting the front lines of the Starry Empire with two other empires. But the stargate was damaged during a surprise attack by the mechanical fleet. It needed a whole week to repair. The commander of the White Cloud Star System ordered the fleet to hold their position for a week. A fleet of 3,000 starships. Facing a mechanical fleet that was 10 times larger, with over 10,000 ships, they fought bravely and refused to retreat. In the end, when more than 95% of the fleet was damaged, they managed to keep the Stargate repaired until reinforcements arrived. At that time, the White Cloud Star System had over 2 million soldiers. Only about 10,000 survived. The royal family awarded this medal to those 10,000 soldiers, the Imperial White Cloud Medal. The man in the hat stepped closer, took off his sunglasses, revealing sharp eyes like a hawk. "Don't say your girlfriend's foot is more important than this medal, or even your life." The girl next to him covered her mouth, looking surprised. Hearing this name, the young man was startled. Look carefully at the face of the man in front of you. Isn't he the hero Zhao Chun, who recently became famous for saving the students and teachers of the two colleges? Most importantly, he is also the son-in-law acknowledged by Governor Chu He. Get lost. Zhao Chun is too lazy to waste words with these two. The boy and girl immediately leave. As the girl walks away, she keeps glancing back at Zhao Chun's side profile. "Thank you, big brother." The little girl keeps bowing to show her gratitude. "It's nothing." Zhao Chun smiles as he looks at the girl in front of him. When he steps closer, he notices that this girl looks very familiar. "You? What is your relationship with Shun Bing?" Zhao Chun asks. "Big sister? You know my sister." "Oh, I remember they just called you Zhao Chun earlier. You're the hero of the college, brother Zhao Chun. I often hear my sister talk about you." The girl's eyes light up excitedly as she looks at Zhao Chun. So she is Shun Bing's younger sister. No wonder Zhao Chun felt that this girl looked familiar before. The elderly woman in front of them is probably the seriously ill grandmother Shun Bing was going to treat earlier. Seeing her condition, Zhao Chun frowned slightly. Because her current state doesn't seem like she has been cured, her mental state isn't very good. "Are you out for a walk with your grandmother? Where is your sister?" Zhao Chun asks. "My sister is probably tutoring at the freshman class now. She does that to earn some tutoring fees," the girl replies. "What is your name?" Zhao Chun asks. "Shun Yin." Yin means swallow like the bird, Shun Yin says with a smile. Zhao Chun and Shun Yin accompany the elderly woman for a walk in the park. Before they know it, it's noon. "Brother Zhao Chun, you just helped us out. Let me treat you to lunch." Shun Yin blinks at Zhao Chun. "Sure. What are you planning to treat me to?" Zhao Chun smiles. Shun Yin takes a small clip from her pocket. Zhao Chun sees that inside are several nutrition meal coupons, with dates written on them. For example, today is Monday. There are 2 coupons for the morning, 2 for lunch, and 2 for dinner. From tomorrow's lunch, Shun Yin pulls out 1 coupon, which says, "Lunch, swallow." It looks like she plans to use her lunch tomorrow to treat Zhao Chun. Looking at Shun Yan's innocent smile, Zhao Chun did not refuse. "Please, brother Zhao Chun, help me watch over Grandma here while I go exchange for some nutritious meals," Shun Yin said happily as she headed toward the meal exchange station in the distance. Zhao Chen sat beside Grandma Shun, watching her repeatedly touch the metal on her chest. He asked, "Grandma, is this metal very important to you?" Grandma Shun looked at Zhao Chun and whispered, "It was given to me in exchange for my loved one's life." During their casual chat earlier, Zhao Chun had noticed that Grandma Shun's mind was a bit unclear, sometimes better, sometimes worse. He had only asked casually earlier, not expecting her to answer. Then Grandma Shun mumbled to herself, "I was working at the Galaxy Command Center when the Stargate was destroyed. We had to hold out for 7 days. The commander told me to pass on the order to defend to the fleet at the front. The first fleet I contacted was the fleet where my loved ones served. The order I gave cost my loved one's life. I thought I would die too, but I ended up surviving. Actually, I had already died back then. If it weren't for the child in my belly, I couldn't have survived until now." As she spoke, Grandma Shin tightly clutched the metal. Zhao Chun opened his mouth, but it felt like something was stuck in his throat. "Brother Zhao Chun, which nutritious meal would you like? If it's not enough, Yin Yan's portion can be shared with you," Xin Yan said, carrying 3 meals and running up to Zhao Chun. "It's okay, brother, 1 box is enough," Zhao Chun replied, accepting 1 meal. Xin Yan happily opened her meal, but didn't eat first. Instead, she fed Grandma Shun. Zhao Chun ate his own meal nearby. The taste was the same as before, but for some reason, this time he finished it all, not leaving a single bite. "I remember your sister Shinbing saved up 100,000 star coins for surgery to treat Grandma Shun. Why is Grandma Shun still in this condition?" Zhao Chen asked. Shenyan looked a bit discouraged and said, "The doctor said that my grandma was in the military fleet when she was young, and her body was long-term damaged by some radiation elements, even affecting her brain. The 100,000 star coins that my sister had saved only helped ease Grandma's condition a little, but the illness in her brain couldn't be treated unless the most advanced medical equipment was used for years of recovery therapy. But the cost of that treatment was far beyond 100,000 star coins. It would take several million, or even more. It was like a bottomless pit. The doctor advised us to give up, but my sister refused to do so." Hearing this, Zhao Chun didn't ask any more questions. "Yinzi, I might have a way to help treat your grandmother's illness, but it will take a few days. For now, please don't tell your sister Shin Bing that you've met me, all right? When the time comes, we'll give her a surprise," Zhao Chun said with a gentle smile. Shenyan hesitated for a moment, then nodded firmly. "Okay, I trust you, brother Zhao Chun." She was simple and kind-hearted. Given her grandmother's condition, she didn't think Zhao Chen would lie to her. Zhao Chen patted her head and stood up. "I'm full now. Oh, by the way, I have a bag of compressed biscuits here. I don't really like them. So could you help me finish them? I have some things to take care of. So let's meet again in a few days. Bye-bye." He took a small bag of compressed biscuits from his pocket, placed it on her wheelchair, and left before she could refuse. Shunyan looked at the unopened bag of biscuits, then at the spot where Zhao Chun had disappeared. "I didn't even tell brother Zhao Chun where I live. What if he can't find me later?" she murmured. After saying goodbye to Shunyan, Zhao Chun continued to wander around the academy. As for Shun Grandma's illness, Zhao Chen planned to wait until the T3 Andromeda-class interstellar medical ship was in service, so he could arrange treatment for her then. He knew there were many people in the world as unfortunate as Shin Grandma. He wasn't a saint and couldn't save everyone, but he wanted to do what little he could for that medal of great meaning, for a veteran who once served with honor. At that moment, Zhao Chen didn't yet know that because of the recruitment notice he had asked Zhao Wanner to post, the entire Northern Star Academy was in an uproar, especially on the online forums. The most popular post is about the recruitment benefits of Baron Zhao Chen's Falcon Dragon fleet. Usually, during graduation season, private fleets come to recruit, which is not unusual. But this time, the recruitment benefits offered by Zhao Chen's Falcon Dragon fleet are truly astonishing. They not only provide meals made from natural ingredients, but also offer a monthly salary of at least 3 star coins. Regarding the salary, it may not seem very high, but having 3 meals a day made from natural ingredients is a luxury even for the elite fleets of the Empire. Perhaps some noble children are not interested in these recruitment conditions, but for ordinary students, this is undoubtedly the best recruitment offer. Fleet King 9112. Yeah, this can't be real. Meals made from natural ingredients are very expensive. A standard meal costing 10-star coins can only last a few meals, right? Zhao Qin's little fan. Hey, you upstairs, you didn't read the recruitment notice carefully. Those meals are sold at an internal supply price. A meal standard of 10-star coins per month is enough for 3 meals a day as long as you're not wasteful. I have a starship battleship. Everyone, I am a 5th-year student. I can confirm that Zhao Qin's meal standards are real. I also participated in the fleet of the 2 academies and was rescued by Zhao Qin. I won't go into details about the process. I can confirm that the meal treatment on Zhao Qin's starship is exactly like that. In a special square set up for recruiting crew members during graduation season, Zhao Wanner is speaking to a group of new students. Excuse me, is the benefit package on this list real? Can we really eat natural food? I'm not asking for anything else. I just want to see Senior Zhao Qin. Zhao Wanner looks at the students in front of her. She helplessly jumps onto a table and opens an electronic loudspeaker, shouting, "Everyone, the recruitment information I've written is very clear, and every point is true. But remember one thing. We are only recruiting female soldiers. Only female soldiers. Only female soldiers. I will say it 3 times. If any students are interested, you can sign up with us. We offer a 1-month internship. If you're not satisfied within a month, you can leave at any time, and we will also cover your travel expenses." Shui Xiaoxiao watched Zhao Wanner struggling to shout nearby. She looked at the recruitment notice in front of her and pouted, saying, "I really want to join Senior Zhao Qin's fleet. If I could eat those delicious meals every day." Thinking about the tasty food she had on the T3 blizzard before, Shui Xiaoxiao felt her mouth watering. "Why? Are you willing to sell yourself just for a meal?" Sulan teased from beside her. Shui Xiaoxiao said seriously, "It's not just about the food. If Senior Zhao Qin could arrange a T3 starship for me, I wouldn't mind selling myself. Actually, that T3 blizzard isn't bad either, though it doesn't have a giant cannon. But it's fast." Sulan rolled her eyes. Her junior sister was hopeless. All she could think about was starships. "Senior, you're graduating this year too. Where do you plan to go afterward?" Shui Xiaoxiao asked Sulan. Sulan replied, "I might join the Imperial fleet of the Zissou star domain of the Su family, train there for a few years, then build my own star fleet." "Oh, Senior, if you leave, only Wanner and I will be left at the academy. And I have a feeling Wanner won't stay at the academy for much longer." Shui Xiaoxiao pouted, a bit unhappy. "This is something everyone has to go through. We can also find time to meet up later. If you miss me, just call me via video chat." Sulan comforted her. At that moment, a voice spoke from nearby. "Lanlan, have you decided where to go in the future? Want to join the Central Starfield Empire fleet with us? I have someone who can arrange good positions for us." A flicker of annoyance appeared in Sulan's eyes. "I already have plans. No need for classmate Han to worry." Faced with Sulan's coldness, Han Tianwang felt a bit defeated. Since last year, after asking Sulan to help him with Zhang Haoran, her attitude toward him had changed a lot. "Sulan, you know I've always..." Han Tianwang hadn't finished speaking when Sulan interrupted. "Classmate Han, I have some things to handle. Please don't disturb us." Han Tianwang's expression was complicated. "Then I'll wait until you've finished your work." Sulan ignored him and went to help Zhao Wanner with the recruitment matters. At that moment, a man wearing sunglasses and a hat bypassed the recruitment booth and walked to the back. "Sorry, we are not recruiting male soldiers here." Sulan stepped forward to block the hat-wearing man. The man took off his sunglasses and winked at Sulan. "Senior Sister Sulan, long time no see." Zhao Xiaoxiao, who was nearby, was excited and about to call out Zhao Qin's name, but Zhao Qin signaled her not to speak. "Don't reveal my identity. Do you think I dress like this for no reason?" Zhao Qin whispered. "You're now a 6th-grade graduate. Calling me senior sister isn't appropriate." Sulan teased Zhao Qin. "No, once you're a senior sister, you're always a senior sister." Zhao Qin smiled. "By the way, with such good benefits, aren't you worried the fleet can't operate smoothly?" Sulan pointed to the recruitment notice. Zhao Qin looked at Sulan and joked. "What? Senior sister, are you tempted? Want to consider joining my fleet? I can arrange a captain position for you." I want to be the captain of a T3 battleship." Xiao Xiao raised her hand. "We don't recruit kids here," Zhao Qin deliberately said. Xiao Xiao pouted. "I'm not a kid. If you can let me be the captain of a T3 starship carrier, I might consider it." Sulan pretended to think. A T-3 starship carrier was rare in the Starry Empire, and its status was even comparable to some T-4 level interstellar warships. That's what you said. When I have a T-3 starship carrier, you'll come be my captain. Zhao Chen smiled at Sulan. Sulan rolled her eyes. All right, then you come find me when you have a T-3 starship carrier. It's a deal. Han Tianwang, who had been ignored, looked grim as he watched Sulan, who had just used work as an excuse to ignore him, now chatting happily with Zhao Chen. This was clearly humiliating him. It was like slapping his face. Zhao Chen, I was hesitating whether to target you before. You shouldn't have touched the woman I like. Tianwang glared fiercely at Zhao Chen, cursing him bitterly in his mind. He turned and walked away. He was about to inform Zhang Haoran to officially start that plan. He wanted Zhao Chen to die in that dark reef star system. Zhao Chen wandered around the academy and then returned to the T3 Blizzard. Not long after he arrived at the Starship Bridge, his handheld terminal received a special message. Ding! Your private Imperial account has received 35 billion star coins. At that moment, Zhao Chen felt energized. This was perfect because he needed to pay for raw materials from Qitong soon, and Governor Chu, he had just sent him a gift. Ding! Your private Imperial account has received 30 billion star coins. That wonderful, ringing sound came again, making him feel excited. Strangely, the money was sent in 2 parts. What about the remaining 30 billion star coins? Then Zhao Chen received a message from Governor Chu He, requesting a holographic video call. He replied, asking the other person to wait a moment, and activated the privacy mode around the captain's chair so the crew couldn't see what he was doing. Soon, Governor Chu, he sent a link to a room. Zhao Chen sat in the captain's chair, started the holographic video function, and clicked on the link. Suddenly, his surroundings changed. He appeared in a space environment, sitting in a floating chair, facing Governor Chu He, whom he hadn't seen in months. Where have you been all this time? Governor Chu He asked right away. I'm just busy doing experiments related to T4 interstellar battleships in the North Wind Star system, Zhao Chen replied. You wouldn't believe how intense this research is, he added, pretending to be exhausted and drained. Governor Chu He, tired of listening to Zhao Chen's rambling, asked, how's the progress? It's still tricky, but there's a little progress. Don't worry. We agreed on 3 years, and only a few months have passed, Zhao Chen said. Governor Chu He did not ask many questions about this issue. He said, you received the final payment of 3.5 billion stars, right? Yes, I received it, Zhao Chen nodded, then asked, what about the next 3 billion stars? Actually, Zhao Chen had a rough guess. Governor Chu He replied, the first batch of T3 Flame Dragon-class medium starships has been launched and is in service. The test voyages went very well. I plan to build 60 more, and as per our agreement, I will pay you an additional licensing fee. This 3 billion is a prepayment. In 3 months, I will pay you the remaining 7 billion stars. I'm glad the T3 Flame Dragon meets your expectations, Zhao Chen said with a smile. Ships made by this system are always impressive. Although the T3 Flame Dragon isn't the best T3 starship in the system shop, compared to other T3 starships on the market, it's definitely excellent. Don't worry. I, Chu Changhe, always do honest business. I will give you exactly what I promised, no less. But I also expect honesty from others. Governor Chu, he finished with these words and ended the communication. His words were a mix of firmness and kindness. Zhao Chen leaned back in the captain's chair. He glanced at his account balance. He now had 7.8 billion stars. After deducting the materials procurement costs for Crimson Eye, nearly 5 billion stars, and the 1.5 billion stars commission for completing the deal, he would be left with about 1.3 billion stars. That was more than enough for his upcoming starship construction plans. Next, he just needed to wait for the college graduation ceremony and the completion ceremony for a few T3 starships. Quarterly task. Own 3 different models of T3 or higher starships, 3/3. Choose 1 support-type starship, with a total of 5/5. Already selected T2 Hammer-class heavy star industrial ships. Task completed. Please claim your reward. A few days later, Zhao Chen received a system notification. Almost at the same time, he received a message from Lilith. The T3 Phantom Stinger-class light interstellar stealth bomber, T3 Goddess Academy-class starship, T3 Andromeda-class interstellar medical ship, and T2 Snow Mastiff-class heavy interstellar battleship have all been completed and launched. Although only 2 of the 3 T3 starships are support ships, their presence greatly helps Zhao Chun in building his fleet in the future. Zhao Chun sent a message to Zhao Wanner, asking her to return to the T3 Blizzard for a visit. Then, Zhao Chun opened the system page to claim the rewards for this quarter's missions. Quarterly mission rewards claimed. T3 Gold Digger-class heavy interstellar mining ship blueprints. It turned out to be a T3 interstellar mining ship. This is one of the 2 main support ships, along with the interstellar transport ship, among auxiliary starships. As the name suggests, an interstellar mining ship is used to quickly extract resources in space. They don't have combat abilities, but are very efficient at mining, making them essential tools for many interstellar mining companies. So far, only a few forces in the entire Starshine Empire own a T3 interstellar mining ship. Even the Hurricane Consortium has not yet developed the technology to produce a T3 mining ship. With a T3 mining ship, I can start mining resources in the Xiaolong and Shirwang star systems. Although these are resource-poor systems, every bit counts, even if it's just a small amount, Zhao Chun muttered. He then carefully examined the detailed information about the T3 Gold Digger-class heavy interstellar mining ship. The ship's body is not equipped with large weapons, but has 10 defensive gun positions. Inside, there are various small mining ships of different sizes to meet different resource collection needs. A special feature of the T3 Gold Digger is that it combines a mining ship with a mineral processing factory. Inside the ship, there are automatic processing devices for raw materials. This means the mined resources can be processed directly on the ship. Afterward, only a transport ship is needed to load and carry the processed materials. This greatly improves efficiency. In terms of resource extraction capability, it is faster than other T3 mining ships of the same level. These 2 features together make it a very powerful support ship. Basically, the status of the T3 Gold Digger-class heavy interstellar mining ship is quite clear. This is a great thing for making money in the future. Why did you suddenly call me back? Zhao Wanner appeared on the bridge, looking at Zhao Chun. Zhao Chun smiled mysteriously. Didn't you say you wanted to command a T3 interstellar warship before? Now I will take you to see the T3 interstellar warship you'll be the captain of in the future. Zhao Wanner's expression instantly became stunned. A T3 interstellar warship? She had thought Zhao Chun was just joking before. Zhao Wanner pointed to a smaller interstellar warship. Although the ship was not large, it had a terrifying main gun. That is the T2 Snow Mastiff-class heavy interstellar battleship, Zhao Chun explained, opening the data page for the ship so Zhao Wanner could see. Snow Mastiff-class heavy interstellar battleship ship type. Interstellar battleship technology level. T2 armor strength. 500 to 700 units cruising speed. 30 star speed warp drive. Level 4 warp engine length. 280 meters weight. 138,000 tons crew. 50 people ship weapons. 1 T2 heavy 1,800 millimeters caliber Snow Mastiff electromagnetic cannon. Fires once every 180 seconds. 6 T2 heavy pulse laser secondary guns. Fires once per shot. 90-second intervals. 3,130 millimeters T2 medium close defense guns. Firing continuously. And 1,800 millimeters caliber main gun. Zhao Wanner was surprised. Such a large caliber main gun was unheard of on T2 interstellar battleships. Previously, the Zero Storm Snow carried a very large main gun, but it was only a 1,200 millimeters caliber. Now, this one has increased the caliber by 50%, and the firing interval is only 3 minutes. What does this mean? Among T2 interstellar battleships, it is absolutely dominant. Even relying on this terrifying main gun, if we ignore the Star Shield technology of T3 battleships, it could easily take on a T3 battleship alone. Didn't you say you prepared a T3 interstellar battleship for me? This only looks like a T2. Zhao Wanner looked at Zhao Chun with confusion. Zhao Chun smiled and pointed at the universe in front of them. The T3 battleship I prepared for you has been right here all along. Really? Zhao Wanner examined carefully. Besides the 3 newest battleships and 4 T2 Hammer-class heavy industrial ships, she saw no other ships. Cough, cough, cough. Maybe you're just too slow to see it. My T3 battleship has a special feature. Only smart people can see it, Zhao Chun said deliberately, coughing. Zhao Wanner suspiciously stared at Zhao Chun, not believing a word of his nonsense. Let me show you a magic trick. Just snap my fingers, and the T3 interstellar battleship will appear, shining brightly, Zhao Chun said mysteriously. Huh, pretending to be a magician. I want to see what tricks you have, Zhao Wanner said, crossing her arms with a look of anticipation. Zhao Chun snapped his fingers. At that moment, a silhouette of an interstellar battleship suddenly appeared out of nowhere near the T3 blizzard storm. This sudden appearance of the battleship startled Zhao Wanner. She hadn't seen anything before, so how could a battleship just appear out of thin air? The entire ship had a sleek, streamlined shape, with almost no visible weapon modules, and it looked somewhat oval. Report, the test is complete. The radar of the T3 Blizzard Storm starship cannot detect the invisible T3 Phantom Stinger-class light interstellar stealth bomber. The Deep Space Telescope also cannot detect its image. A video window appeared next to Zhao Chun, showing Sister Niu, who had dined with him earlier. She was now in charge of testing the T3 Phantom Stinger. I understand. Zhao Chun nodded with satisfaction, then looked at Zhao Wanner, who seemed a bit stunned. How about it? Was my magic trick pretty good? Zhao Wanner swallowed hard. After hearing Sister Niu's words, she finally understood. This is an interstellar stealth bomber. To be precise, it's a T3 Phantom Stinger-class light interstellar stealth bomber. And this is the T3 battleship I prepared for you, Zhao Chun explained. Zhao Wanner examined the interstellar stealth bomber in front of her. She muttered, but aren't interstellar stealth bombers already outdated on the current battlefield? Most star fleets no longer use this kind of ship. Why is that? Zhao Chun asked deliberately. Of course, it's because now the main T3 starships are equipped with star shield technology, which makes the stealth bomber's advantages useless, Zhao Wanner replied. Zhao Chun smiled slightly and sent a message to Sister Niu. Take a closer look. Zhao Chun pointed at the T3 Phantom Stinger outside. Zhao Wanner looked again at the battleship outside. Her eyes widened once more as she pointed at the T3 Phantom Stinger across from her, unable to speak for a long time. Because at this moment, the T3 illusion spear was surrounded by a clear, shining energy shield. That is star shield technology. That is T4 level star shield technology. And it was installed on a T3 interstellar stealth bomber. A T3 interstellar stealth bomber equipped with T4 level star shield technology. Zhao Wanner's only thought right now was, oh my god, what kind of revolutionary starship has her older brother built? So, this T3 Illusion Spear-class light interstellar stealth bomber has T4 level all-around star shield defense, Zhao Wanner excitedly confirmed with Zhao Chun. Zhao Chun nodded and added, and its firepower setup for short-range attacks can easily defeat any T3 level starship. With high speed and star shield protection, it can completely escape after completing a decapitation mission. Zhao Wanner's eyes sparkled, as if she could already see that scene. Brother, are you really willing to let me be the captain of this starship? Zhao Wanner swallowed hard, finding it hard to believe. Actually, I'm not very willing, Zhao Chun rubbed his chin. Zhao Wanner immediately looked pitiful and hopeful. Zhao Chun changed the subject. Mainly, you also know the role of the interstellar stealth bomber, and it involves some risks, so I'm not very willing to let you be the captain of this starship. Zhao Wanner immediately felt unfair and puffed up her chest. Hey, brother, you're underestimating me too much. I admit you're very talented now, but I'm not bad either. I'm at least a genius student from the Northern Star Academy. If I were afraid of danger, I wouldn't have applied to Northern Star Academy in the first place, and I could just be a noble girl in the territory. Actually, what Zhao Wanner said last was also the reason Zhao Chun made his decision. Zhao Wanner is his sister, and he can protect her, but can he protect her 24 hours a day? Compared to Zhao Chun's protection, making Zhao Wanner independent and capable is the real way to protect her. And Zhao Chun believed that the former way was definitely not what Zhao Wanner wanted. At the same time, I thought about how the special combat method of the interstellar stealth bomber is actually a quick way to train people. Although there are risks, as long as Zhao Chun controls it, these risks can be minimized. First, I make 3 rules with you. You can be the captain of this T3 Phantom Sting Light interstellar stealth bomber, But without my orders and permission, you are not allowed to act on your own. If any emergency occurs, you must follow my instructions unconditionally, Zhao Chun said seriously. Yes, Commander, Zhao Wanner saluted, acting like a crew member subordinate. Actually, Zhao Chun had a second plan. He planned to assign a suitable deputy captain to supervise Zhao Wanner, which would also help protect her. Also, I have something else to discuss with you. This is a condition for you to be the captain of this T-3 Phantom Sting Light interstellar stealth bomber, Zhao Chun said. What is it? Zhao Wanner asked curiously. I want you to take a break from school, Zhao Chun proposed. Faced with her older brother's words, Zhao Wanner was not very surprised. She thought for a moment and said, Are you wanting me to focus entirely on the Dragon Falcon fleet? Yes. You are a genius and very talented at the Academy. You have already mastered most of the theoretical knowledge. What's left is practical experience. Compared to staying at the Academy, I think it's better for you to follow our Dragon Falcon fleet. Moreover, I currently lack talented people around me, Zhao Chun explained. He really needed someone to assist him. Charlotte and the others alone couldn't meet his needs. Zhao Chun had always wanted to train Zhao Wanner, so instead of staying at the Academy, it's better for her to come with him. No problem. The life at the Academy is boring anyway, Zhao Wanner agreed immediately. Studying at the Academy is all about preparing to become a captain and pilot the starships she dreams of. Now her brother has arranged everything for her, saving her trouble. As for the graduation certificate, she has her brother's fleet to stay with, and she doesn't need to inherit any noble titles. The Academy diploma isn't very important to her. Then it's settled. After this semester ends, you will officially join the Dragon Falcon fleet. You now have the chance to familiarize yourself with the T-3 Phantom Stinger-class light interstellar stealth bomber. I have already arranged the crew for you, Zhao Chun said. Great. Zhao Wanner was very happy and eagerly boarded the shuttle heading to the neighboring T-3 Phantom Stinger-class light interstellar stealth bomber. Meanwhile, Zhao Chun received a message. The person has been picked up. Zhao Chun immediately ordered the T-3 Blizzard-class light interstellar battlecruiser to return to the Northern Star Academy and wait in the external hover area. A shuttle flew out from the starport and landed in the hangar. Then, Shen Yin pushed a wheelchair, bringing Grandma Shen down from the shuttle. Shen Yin looked around curiously. This was her first time on such a beautiful starship. She felt a little nervous. Yanzi, Zhao Chun approached and greeted Shen Yin. Brother Zhao Chun. Shen Yin saw Zhao Chun and relaxed a bit. We need to go somewhere, and we'll wait a few minutes. Once we arrive, maybe I can find a way to help your grandma get better, Zhao Chun said. Okay, Shen Yin nodded obediently, but she didn't really hold much hope for Zhao Chun's words. After all, her sister had tried many times. Soon, the T-3 Blizzard returned to the Dragon's Nest base. This time, Zhao Chun and Shen Yin took a shuttle to the neighboring starship. Such a beautiful starship, Shen Yin exclaimed as she looked out the shuttle's window at the pink-colored starship outside. That's the starship we're going to, Zhao Chun said. Is that starship also Zhao Chun's? Yes, it is. What's it called? Andromeda. Fairy? My grandma once told me stories about fairies. They're very beautiful creatures who can grant people's wishes, Shen Yin said innocently. Zhao Chun looked at the innocent Shen Yin and gently patted her head. That's right. It can also help make your wish for your grandma to recover come true. Soon, the shuttle docked in the hangar of the T-3 Andromeda-class interstellar medical ship. As Zhao Chun and the others stepped off, several female crew members in white medical uniforms waited there. Commander, a charming mature woman with white, fluffy, curly hair and small horns appeared before Zhao Chun. She is a half-beast with sheep features, belonging to the White Sheep clan. The White Sheep clan is naturally skilled in healing, so Zhao Chun specially assigned her as the captain of the T-3 Aquarius starship. This captain role is similar to a hospital director. Sheep's sister, this is our patient, Zhao Chun said, pointing to Grandma Shun in the wheelchair. Grandma Shun was currently in a confused state. Sheep's sister approached Grandma Shun and looked at Shen Yin, who seemed nervous. She raised her hand and gently stroked Shen Yin's head. Hello, I am Sheep and I am the doctor on this starship. We will take care of your grandma. Please let us take care of her for now. I promise we will do our best to heal your grandma, she said kindly. Seeing Sheep's sister's gentle attitude, Shen Yin relaxed her grip on the wheelchair. Then, Sheep's sister asked the nurses to push the wheelchair away. They needed to check Grandma Shen first and plan the best treatment. Commander, little sister, would you like me to show you around this starship? Sheep's sister smiled warmly. She gives off a calming feeling, making people feel relaxed. At this moment, inside North Star Academy, Shen Bing, who had just finished tutoring a new student and looked tired with dark circles under her eyes, arrived at her grandmother's hospital room. Shen Bing called out a few times, but her sister, who should have come out to greet her with a smile, was nowhere to be seen. She looked nervously at the empty room and the bed. Suddenly, her mind cleared. At the same time, a female half-beast was standing at the door, seemingly waiting for Shen Bing. The green color indicates minor injuries, and patients with such injuries can receive quick treatment and placement in the minor injury area. Besides the medical pods, we have a total of 10,000 beds for critically ill patients and 100,000 beds for regular patients. Each bed is equipped with a sleep chamber device, ensuring that these patients are unaffected during the starship's faster-than-light travel. There are also large centralized sleep chambers. In special cases, the T3 Andromeda can carry up to 300,000 people for faster-than-light travel. Additionally, the starship's hangar is equipped with a certain number of battlefield emergency rescue pods, which can transport and rescue critically ill patients from active starship battles. They can also provide emergency rescue for crew members who escape using escape pods from fallen starships. Sister Yang kept explaining this to Zhao Chen along the way. Actually, Zhao Chen already knew a lot about the T3 Andromeda. Most of his interest was to satisfy Shun Yan's curiosity. So, those are unmanned rescue pods. Shun Yan saw through the transparent glass corridor that several cylindrical objects were parked in the hangar. Yes, these unmanned rescue pods come in different sizes. Larger ones are more like unmanned rescue ships, while smaller ones are less than 3 meters long and can only hold one person. Inside, they have robotic arms that can automatically grab patients and place them inside the rescue pod. The outer shell of the rescue pod is very strong, capable of withstanding regular main cannon attacks from T2 starships. This is an important technology for saving lives on the battlefield. Sister Yang explained, her eyes filled with admiration as she looked at Zhao Chen. According to her, the T3 Andromeda is a starship technology developed by the commander. With this technology, the number of personnel lost in battle can be reduced by at least half. At this moment, Sister Yang received a message from the medical staff responsible for examining Grandma Shen. She looked at Shun Yan and then at Zhao Chen. Sister Yang, just tell us about Grandma's condition directly. Yinzi isn't afraid, Shun Yan said firmly. Zhao Chen nodded slightly. Sister Yang began to explain Grandma Shen's condition. Grandma Shen's illness was caused by long-term exposure to a radiation element environment, which led to severe erosion of her body. Before this, Grandma Shen had already undergone treatment, and her internal organs had been stabilized through advanced medical methods. However, the radiation elements inside the brain cannot be completely removed. This is also the reason why Grandma Shen has been in a confused state for a long time. I have one bad news and one good news. The bad news is that Grandma Shen's condition is very serious, and it will be hard to cure her completely in a short time. Hearing this, Shen Yan's eyes looked a bit sad. The good news is that T3 Andromeda has the ability to treat her, but it requires long-term treatment, which is expected to take more than a year to fully cure. On average, she needs to enter the top medical pod once a week. This news from Sister Yang made Shun Yan feel both happy and a little complicated. I heard from my sister that each use of this top medical pod costs several 10,000 star coins. Shen Yan bit her lip lightly, worried about the high treatment cost. Zhao Chun patted Shen Yan's head and smiled, saying, "You treated me to a meal before, and I helped take care of Grandma. Let's consider it as us not owing each other anything." Shen Yan looked at Zhao Chun. Although she was young, she was very smart. She knew Zhao Chun was helping her selflessly. That nutritious meal was worth only a little. Her eyes couldn't help but turn red and swell. "If there's no problem, we can start the first treatment now." Sister Yang looked at Zhao Chun. "Let's begin," Zhao Chun agreed. "I'll go arrange it now. I need to step away for a moment," Sister Yang said as she went to organize Grandma Shen's treatment. Zhao Chun then took Shen Yan to the Starship restaurant of the T3 Andromeda. "Can I eat all of these?" Shen Yan swallowed hard, looking at the desserts and ice cream in front of her. She had only seen these in advertisements before. All yours, Zhao Chun said with a smile. Shunyan hesitated for a moment, but when Zhao Chun urged her that the ice cream would melt if she didn't eat it soon, she picked up a spoon and started eating. Delicious. Shunyan showed an expression of enjoyment, her mouth a bit numb from the cold. During this wonderful mealtime, a hurried footsteps approached. A familiar voice was heard. Shunyan looked over and saw her sister Xinbing looking at her anxiously. Big sister, Shunyan was startled, then looked like a child who had done something wrong, feeling a bit helpless. Don't blame Yanzi. It was me who told her to hide it from you. I think if I offered to help your grandmother, your pride might not accept it. So I took the initiative first. Zhao Chun looked at the old squad leader, Xinbing, and smiled. Xinbing looked at Zhao Chun with mixed feelings. I can heal my grandmother myself. How long will that take? A year? 5 years? Or 10 years? Can you wait? Can Grandma Shen wait? And I am treating Grandma Shen not because you, Xinbing, are my squad leader, but because Grandma Shen is a respected veteran. Such a veteran, I haven't seen many, or maybe none at all. But now that I see her, and the Empire is unwilling to help, I, Zhao Chun, will do it. Zhao Chun said seriously. Xinbing bit her lip lightly. Just as she was about to speak, a call came from behind. Binger, swallow. Xinyan looked shocked as she saw Xinbing's back. Grandma. Xinbing turned around and looked in disbelief at Grandma Shen, who was walking slowly with a cane. Compared to her previous confused state, her eyes now looked much clearer. Grandma. Xinbing was excited, covering her mouth. Although Grandma Shen had woken up from the cryogenic chamber recently, she had been confused and kept mumbling about old times. She didn't recognize Xinbing or Xunyan at all. Now, she could call out their names, and her kind eyes looked just like before she fell ill. Old lady, you are still very weak. You shouldn't walk around too much. Sister Yang appeared behind Grandma Shen with a wheelchair, helping her sit down. I haven't felt this good in a long time. I want to walk around more. Grandma Shen said with a smile, then looked at Zhao Chun gratefully. Was it you who healed this old lady? Thank you. Zhao Chun straightened up, placing his hand over his chest, and saluted. It's what we juniors should be thankful for. Grandma Shen looked at Zhao Chun and his gesture, feeling strangely that he resembled her young lover, who had been ordered by her to go to the front lines and fight bravely. Their figures seemed to overlap. Xinbing gently pushed Xunyan, who was feeling sleepy on the way back after eating and drinking too much. Xunyan rubbed her eyes and followed her sister and brother Zhao down the shuttle. If you don't mind, Grandma Shen can stay on my interstellar medical ship for long-term treatment. I won't charge anything, Zhao Chun said. Thank you. Xinbing hesitated for a long time. She felt like she had nothing else to say besides those two simple words. You're graduating and leaving the academy this month, right? Xinbing looked at Zhao Chun, knowing about his repeated grade skipping and becoming a 6th-year student. Will you not come back to the academy anymore? Xinbing asked, feeling a little empty inside. Zhao Chun replied, my sister plans to take a break from school, so I probably won't come back much either. If you want to see your grandma, you can go to the Xiaolong star system. Also, a year or so isn't long. Grandma Shen will be healthy and return to you and your sister soon. Soon, Zhao Chun took Xinbing and Xunyan to the bottom of Xinbing's dorm building. I'll see you off here. Zhao Chun waved his hand and turned to leave. Suddenly, Xinbing called out to Zhao Chun. He looked back at her. Is there something else? About what happened before? Does it still count? Xinbing asked softly. What thing? Zhao Chun looked surprised. Xinbing looked at him with some resentment. It's about you asking me to join your fleet. Zhao Chun was stunned, then smiled. It counts. Then I want to bring my sister too. No problem. I like that girl. She's much cuter than my sister. But about your studies. I can also take a break from school. All right. Once you handle that, I'll send someone to pick you up. It'll probably be in the next couple of days, Zhao Chun said with a smile. Xinbing watched Zhao Chun's back as he left. She covered her chest, feeling a little excited. Big sister, what did you just say to brother Zhao Chun? Xinyan, who hadn't caught up yet, came back and looked at her sister standing foolishly downstairs. I didn't say anything. Xinbing went upstairs, taking her sister back to her small, single-person dorm that was only a few dozen square meters. Swallow, get ready. We're moving soon. Moving? Where to? To your brother Zhao Chen's spaceship. Really? That's great. Do you like Brother Zhaochen that much? Of course. He's so handsome, gentle, and his starship is so beautiful. You little girl, thinking about these things at such a young age? Hee hee, sister, be honest. Is Brother Zhao Chun going to be my future husband? You little brat. What are you talking about? No, it's not. When I grow up, I want to marry Brother Zhao Chun. He promised me when I was eating. You little girl, aren't you shy? The next few days were filled with graduation ceremonies. Originally, the school wanted Zhao Chun, an outstanding student, to speak as a representative, but he refused. In the end, Su Lan spoke on behalf of this year's graduates. Annual task: please the host graduate normally from the Northern Star Academy within 1 year. Task completed. Please claim your reward. A system notification sounded in Zhao Chen's mind, but at this moment, he didn't have time to check the reward. Zhao Chun, Principal Qin, Vice Principal Hong, and Teacher Qin approached him. Zhao Chun greeted these three teachers. You are one of the most outstanding students in the history of our Northern Star Academy. Our small temple can't meet your needs anymore. You need a bigger sky. But I hope, no matter how far you fly outside, you won't forget that you are a student of our Northern Star Academy. Come back and visit when you have time. Principal Qin patted Zhao Chen's shoulder and said, I still owe you a big favor. Zhao Chen nodded. I will always be a student of Northern Star Academy. This was the starting point of his life, and it held special meaning for him. How could he forget? If you face difficulties outside, come back, Vice Principal Hong said cheerfully. Teacher Qin looked at Zhao Chun with a smile. I will always remember our shared memories. Thank you. After saying goodbye to the teachers, a familiar figure appeared in Zhao Chen's sight. Zhao Chen looked at Li Wei, whose eyes were a bit red and swollen. Hey, you big guy, is it really necessary? Zhao Chen punched Li Wei lightly, but he held back his strength. Otherwise, with Li Wei's small build, he might not be able to handle a full punch. You little guy, I thought we would go through 6 years of college together. But I didn't expect you to graduate so quickly. Li Wei's voice was a bit choked, but he soon smiled and said, Don't worry, little brother. I won't be worse off than you. One day, I will become a great hero too. Then I'll wait for our great hero, Zhao Chen said, stepping forward to give his brother a hug. Once we leave the college, we might not meet again for a long time. The graduation ceremony quickly ended, although there were many small activities afterward. But Zhao Chen left in a hurry. He didn't like crowded places. Moreover, he had more important things to do. When he returned to the T3 Blizzard, he saw Shen Bing and Shun Yen carrying big bags. Why are you guys here so early? Why not stay a few more days at the college? Zhao Chen looked at Shen Bing, surprised. Weiner was still saying goodbye to Su Lan and Shui Xiaoxiao. I didn't have many friends at the college, Shen Bing explained. Thinking back, that was true. When Shen Bing was at the college, she was either studying or trying to earn money. So, naturally, she didn't have many friends. Then I'll have Lilith show you around our Shadow Dragon fleet. As for your position, I'll think about it, Zhao Chen said. Okay. Shen Bing didn't mind what position she would be given. Zhao Chun had already helped her a lot. Even if she only served as a small crew member in Zhao Chen's fleet, she was happy. Zhao Chen returned to his captain's bedroom and opened the system interface. The most noticeable part was the reward for the annual mission. Since it's an annual mission reward, it should be pretty good. Zhao Chun held his expectations and claimed the reward. Successfully received the annual mission reward. T4 Reincarnator Class Clone Starship Blueprint. Zhao Chun suddenly sat up, staring at the number in disbelief. It is truly A4 and not A3. The system actually gave me a T4 interstellar battleship? But the name sounds so strange and awkward. T4 Reborn Clone Starship. Zhao Chun began to carefully learn about this starship. Looking into it, I realized the information was incredibly shocking. The T4 Reborn Clone Starship is a functional ship that can produce clone bodies inside. It can also load the life information of crew members under the host's command. When a crew member dies, they can be revived inside the T4 Reborn Clone Starship. The crew member's consciousness can fully revive in a clone body that looks exactly like their original body. It's like being reborn, but using a clone body made from their own genes. This means I have an army of immortals. Zhao Chun found it hard to believe. Cloning technology exists in this universe. But like advanced artificial intelligence, it is strictly banned by the Galactic Alliance because it goes against the natural laws of life. Just think about it. Resources across star systems are already limited. If they develop clones that can constantly revive, it would be a huge problem. And how do you tell the difference between a clone and the original? If both exist at the same time, what do you do? These are serious social issues. So, this technology is forbidden to develop. However, for Zhao Chun, because of the system's advanced technology, he can only use cloning to revive crew members after they die. This avoids some trouble. But Zhao Chun knows very well that if it becomes known he has this technology, it won't be just about owning a T3 starship or being able to develop T4 ships. He would become a heretic in the entire Galaxy Alliance. Even Governor Chu he might not be able to protect him. No one wants to face a man with an immortal army, but for Zhao Chun, this is a huge temptation. Before, Zhao Chun had thought about a problem. As the scale of battles grows, the Shadow Dragon fleet will inevitably suffer casualties. Hundreds, or even thousands of crew members sacrifice themselves. Can Zhao Chun accept that? If the sacrifices are like Charlotte, Annie, or Lilith, can Zhao Chun accept that? Zhao Chun already has an answer in his heart. A T4 Rebirth clone starship. No matter how unreasonable this starship is, even if it's just for Zhao Chun's personal wishes, he will build it at all costs. Of course, before that, Zhao Chun must first have enough strength. He needs to reach a level where he can fight against 3 different civilizations. Zhao Chun begins to look into the building requirements for this T4 Rebirth clone starship. First, the materials needed, 100 billion star coins worth of raw materials. This price is very high, many times more expensive than any existing T4 combat starship Zhao Chun knows how to build. Next, the construction conditions. He needs at least a T3 level star industrial ship or a starship factory capable of T3 level construction to build this T4 Rebirth clone starship. In other words, Zhao Chun cannot build this starship in the short term. Must quickly exchange for a T3 star industrial ship and find ways to gather enough raw materials, Zhao Chun silently decides. No matter what, this T4 Rebirth clone starship must be built. It's a guarantee for Zhao Chun's Dragon Fleet. T3 Blizzard-class light starship battleship bridge. This is the list of crew members we recruited from the North Star Academy, totaling 593 people. Over 95% are civilians, and the rest are some fallen nobles without titles. Since they are all women, even if they return to their families, they will likely be arranged for marriage alliances. Zhao Wanner reports to Zhao Chun about the recruitment from North Star Academy. Don't underestimate these 600 people. They are graduates from North Star Academy, and in terms of talent, they are much better than those half-beast crew members. What's missing is only practical combat experience. Very good. These nearly 600 students can all become potential members of our Dragon Fleet. Zhao Chun is very satisfied. As for whether these nearly 600 girls will leave the Dragon Fleet in the future, these little cuties have entered Zhao Chun's hidden paradise, and they are sure to enjoy themselves so much they won't want to leave. Has everyone boarded the ship? Zhao Chun asked. Yes, they are all on board now. For the moment, they are staying in the T3 Blizzard dormitory. It might be a bit crowded, but the living conditions are quite good. Everyone should be there by tonight at the latest, said Zhao Wanner. All right, then we will officially set out tomorrow to return to the Xionglong star system, Zhao Chun said. This time, he plans to bring back all 4 T2 Hammer-class heavy star industrial ships that are still here to the Xionglong star system. Yes, Zhao Wanner nodded. She looked toward the North Star Academy, feeling a little reluctant. But at the same time, she was also excited about what the future might hold. North Star Starship Military Academy. I didn't expect Wanner to take a break from school. Now, I'll be the only one left in the academy, Xue Xiaoxiao pouted, looking a bit unhappy as she watched Su Lan pack her bags in the dorm. Su Lan, while organizing her things, said, Wanner taking a break from school was a surprise, but I understand. Her brother has such great starships and resources. Wanner already knows a lot of theory from the academy, but she lacks practical experience. Compared to staying here, she's better off with her brother. That makes me want to find Wanner's brother too. Do you think I can still sign up to join Wanner's brother's Xionglong fleet? Xue Xiaoxiao suddenly wondered. Su Lan rolled her eyes at her. With your status, do you think you can easily join someone else's fleet? Your dad would probably be fighting Zhao Chun over you. That could cause a lot of trouble for Zhao Chun. I suggest you stay honest and stay in the academy. If you get bored, just call us on video. During the holidays, you can visit Warner or come play with me. Shui Xiao pouted, still unhappy. Suddenly, she clapped her hands loudly. Grandma, what are you doing now? Sulan looked at her helplessly. Shui Xiao looked upset and said, I almost forgot. I haven't even touched Zhao Qin's big cannon, the T3 Blizzard, and that T2 number 0 Blizzard. I've been thinking about it for a long time. This time I missed it again, and I don't know when I will have another chance. Sulan rolled her eyes at Shui Xiao and didn't pay her any more attention. T3 Blizzard-class light interstellar battleship. This is our dorm area. Because there are many people this time, some may be assigned to temporary dorms to rest. During faster-than-light travel, you need to go to the large sleep pods to rest. Over here is our starship restaurant. Every starship has at least one restaurant. Since you joined the Falcon Dragon fleet, your personal information has been entered into the fleet system. Each of you has a certain meal standard and can exchange for food at the restaurant. As long as you don't waste, can finish your food, and stay within your meal standard, you can order as much as you want. A female or crew member led a group of new recruits from the Northern Star Academy, familiarizing themselves with the environment on the T3 Blizzard. These female crew members were all very excited, looking around eagerly. This is the T3 Blizzard. I can't believe I actually get to ride on this legendary starship. I wonder if we're lucky enough to serve on this T3 interstellar battleship. It might be difficult. Maybe they'll assign us to a T2 level starship. T2 is fine. With such good living conditions, it's the same wherever we go. Why isn't Commander Zhao Qin here? I want to get his signature. Soon, the new recruits arrived at an open hangar, where the uniforms of the Falcon Dragon female soldiers were stored, along with terminals and other essentials. At the same time, they saw their idol. Look, it's Commander Zhao Qin. I think Zhao Qin looks even more handsome than in the promotional videos. I've decided. I want to become a crew member on the bridge, so I can see Commander Zhao Qin's handsome face every day. Zhao Qin stood on a high platform, surveying nearly 600 young girls full of vitality, future talents of the Falcon Dragon fleet. Everyone should be clear about my identity. From now on, there are no longer classmates here. I am your commander, and you are the crew of the Shadow Dragon fleet, soldiers. Your relationship will be that of comrades fighting side by side in the future. I promise to give you everything I can, even more if possible. As long as you use your skills and talents, you can earn your place in the Shadow Dragon fleet. Isn't this T3 Storm Snow ship very luxurious and beautiful? If you have the ability, someday you might even command a ship like this T3 interstellar battleship. Zhao Qin first spoke a lot of official words. This was his formal meeting with the female crew members. After that, everyone was given a break, then prepared to return to the Shadow Dragon star system. Zhao Qin specifically set aside time for them to enjoy a good meal in the starship's dining hall. Then they were arranged to sleep in large sleep pods. Everything was arranged properly. For T2 Hammer-class heavy interstellar industrial ships, 1 T3 Storm Snow light cruiser, 0 Storm Snow, and the first T3 Phantom Stinger light stealth bomber, T3 Goddess Academy starship, T3 Andromeda starship medical ship, and T2 Snow Mastiff heavy battleship. They headed north toward the Stargate of the North Star system, with the final destination being the Shadow Dragon star system. Just as Zhao Qin was preparing to leave the border of the North Star system for the Shadow Dragon star system, a special message interrupted his plans. Zhao Qin frowned as he looked at the message from Charlotte from the Lion King star system. Something happened? Zhao Wanner's video window appeared next to Zhao Qin. She is now the captain of the T3 Phantom Stinger, so her battle station is on that starship. As for the original T2 Queen B-class heavy carrier starship assigned to Zhao Wanner, it was naturally promoted from the deputy captain to captain. Since Zhao Wanner was not there, she was responsible for it. Shen Bing, dressed in the Shadow Dragon fleet uniform, stood beside Lily with Zhao Qin. She is now his temporary deputy. Something happened in the Lion King star system, Zhao Qin said in a serious tone. The Lion King star system? Zhao Wanner looked confused. Lily, you explained the situation in the Lion King star system to them first. Zhao Qin rubbed his temples. As expected, after eliminating his son, a father appeared. The trouble with the Fire Lizard clan is far from over. What? You went to the Dark Reef star region and controlled a whole star system there. Zhao Wanner was stunned. She didn't expect that just a few months after not seeing her older brother, he would do something so shocking. Shinbing also looked at Zhao Chun with some surprise, but she remained calmer and softly asked, "So, the situation with the Lion King star system this time is because of the Fire Lizard clan that you previously defeated, Commander?" Zhao Chun nodded and said, "According to the message from Charlotte, the Fire Lizard clan has allied with several other forces, preparing nearly 3,000 starships to attack the Lion King star system again." 3,000 starships. Zhao Wanner was greatly shocked. "That number is quite terrifying." Lilith explained nearby. "Based on the situation in the Dark Reef Star region, although it looks like there are 3,000 starships, most of them are probably low-level T1 starships used as cannon fodder. The number of T2 starships won't exceed 500. The key question is, how many T3 starships do they actually have?" Hearing that most are T1 starships, Zhao Wanner finally relaxed a bit. T1 starships are considered civilian ships in the Star Glory Empire, used by some less developed star systems patrol fleets, and generally lack strong combat power. Charlotte received information that the enemy has mobilized 5 T3 starships this time, Zhao Chun said. 5? That's quite a show of force, Shinbing muttered. Currently, Zhao Chun only has 2 combat-ready T3 starships, the T3 Blizzard and the T3 Illusion Stinger. Over the past 3 months, most of the T2 Ironhammer ships have been used to expand star industrial ships and produce a few T3 starships, so the number of combat starships hasn't increased much. No matter what, the Lion King star system is very important to us and cannot be lost. According to Charlotte, the Fire Lizard clan plans to launch an attack on the Lion King star system in about a month, around late July. We still have time to get there. Lilith, relay my orders. All starships except the T3 Blizzard, T3 Illusion Stinger, T2 Snow Mastiff, and T3 Andromeda. According to the original plan, we will return to the Xiaolong star system. All new soldiers on T3 Storm Snow have been transferred to other returning interstellar warships. Lilith, you stay behind to guard the home front, Zhao Chun ordered. Yes, Lilith accepted the order. Although she also wanted to fight alongside the commander, she understood that the construction plans for the Xiaolong star system were also very important. Zhao Chun looked at the star map, focusing on the position of the Lion King star system. Fire Lizard clan. I originally wanted to give you a few more days to live. Since you are seeking your own destruction, don't blame me for taking action against you. Fire Lizard clan headquarters at this moment. Nearly 3,000 starships have gathered here, with the most eye-catching being 5 T3 starships. Inside the Fire Lizard starport, the clan leader looked out through a transparent window at the large fleet of starships docked outside. He was happy, but also heartbroken. Because this operation, according to the previous agreement, all strategic supplies must be provided by the Fire Lizard clan. Just think about the daily consumption of 3,000 starships. That's a huge amount. Even the Fire Lizard clan is starting to feel the strain, especially with 5 T3 starships involved. We must make that guy pay the price. The Fire Lizard clan leader recalled the masked man, gnashing his teeth in hatred. If it weren't for that man, he might already be mining resources on the dwarf planet. Why did he have to bleed so much here? Report, the 2 adults have returned. Please be informed to hold a simple meeting. The Fire Lizard deputy cautiously knocked on the door and called out. Recently, the clan leader's temper has been terrible. Several unlucky clan members have been beaten or killed in anger. I understand. The Fire Lizard clan leader calmed himself, left his room, and headed toward the meeting room. At the door of the meeting room, several soldiers who were not from the Fire Lizard clan could be seen. Some were human, some were half-orcs, and others were various humanoid star races. The clan leader pushed open the door, showing a professional smile. Sorry for being late, everyone. He greeted warmly, but those inside the room only glanced at him briefly and did not speak. The Fire Lizard clan leader felt a bit embarrassed and could only find a seat to sit down by himself. He looked around the round table. At the main seat was Han Tianwang, who had just returned after a short absence, along with his assistant Zhang Haoran. Besides them, there were 3 other people present. One was a human wearing an eye patch, looking fierce. This was a notorious group of space pirates in the Dark Reef Star region, called the 3-headed dog space pirates. They mainly steal and cause trouble. Without a fixed base, so many space forces have no way to deal with them. Rumor has it that these pirates are backed by a wealthy supporter, and many major forces in the Dark Reef Star region give this supporter some face. It is believed that this support comes from the forces behind Sun Xiao. The pirate leader sitting to Han Tianwang's right showed his importance in this gathering. On the other side, to Zhang Haoran's left, was a humanoid alien race called the Gaibua. Their adult height is about 2 meters, very slim, with a biological exoskeleton, skin covered with bone plates. They are completely black, without any hair. Like the Fire Lizard clan, they control several star systems in the Dark Reef Star region and are considered a second-tier power, with about 2,000 starships under their command. Looking at the figure sitting next to the Fire Lizard clan leader, the foul smell was so strong that it made even the clan leader feel sick. It was a pig-headed member of the half-beast race. Pig-headed people are quite numerous among the half-beast tribes, which have many branches, mostly within the United Star Federation of Warhammer. However, a small part of them are spread across the universe for various reasons. Like the Fire Lizard and Gaibua, this pig-headed race is also a second-tier power in the Dark Reef Star region. At this moment, there were 3,000 starships gathered here. Most of these ships belong to their own Fire Lizard clan, almost like a full-scale attack. Except for a few T1 and T2 starships used for guard duty, the clan leader had called back all their starships during the nearly 2 months of preparation. Including the starships that had been defeated and withdrawn earlier, the Fire Lizard clan would deploy a total of 1,500 starships for this operation. The remaining 3 forces each have 500 interstellar warships. In contrast, the organizer of this military operation, Han Tianwang, only has 30 interstellar warships under his direct command. However, no one cares much about that, since everyone is more focused on the power behind Han Tianwang. Moreover, the 3-headed dog interstellar pirate group can also be considered as Han Tianwang's allies. This time, I believe everyone understands the plan. We are attacking an interstellar fleet that has taken control of the Lion King star system, formerly known as the FY star system. The fleet has fewer than 20 ships, but all are above T2 level, including 1 T3 ship and 1 T2 missile ship. The commander of this fleet is an enemy of our backing forces. This could affect Sun Xiao's future plans, so we must seize this chance to completely destroy this guy and his fleet in the Lion King star system, Han Tianwang said fiercely. Actually, this was mainly Han Tianwang and Zhang Haoran's personal idea. Recently, Han Tianwang had been hesitant, but since he couldn't contact Sun Xiao, he couldn't make a firm decision. But after what happened at the college graduation, facing the cold and distant Sulan, he saw Zhao Chun as warm and friendly. Thinking about these things made him very angry. In his furious eyes, he seemed to see Zhao Chun close to his goddess Sulan, and he even wondered if they had already become close. Thinking of this, Han Tianwang felt his head turn green with jealousy. Right now, his desire to eliminate Zhao Chun was just as strong as Zhang Haoran's. So he decided to carry out this plan. After all, once Zhao Chun was gone, Sun Xiao probably wouldn't blame him. Yes, we must get rid of this man. Zhang Haoran displayed an image. The person in the image was none other than Zhao Chun. This guy brought him immense shame and anger. Even if the ships are advanced, with fewer than 20 interstellar warships, only fools would fail in such a battle. The orc leader sneered disdainfully. His words clearly implied that he was criticizing the Fire Lizard leader beside him. The Fire Lizard leader glared at the orc, as their relationship was not very good. They had previously had conflicts over territorial interests. If it weren't for Sun Xiao behind Han Tianwang, the two of them probably wouldn't be sitting here. There's no need to talk nonsense now. Everyone here is doing this for Sun Xiao's sake. Since Sun Xiao isn't here now, Han Xiao is acting as Sun Xiao's representative. As long as everyone works for Han Xiao, when Sun Xiao rewards everyone in the future, you'll all benefit. The leader of the 3-headed dog pirates glanced around at the people present, clearly trying to intimidate them. He's just a dog raised by Sun Xiao. Without Sun Xiao's support, how could your interstellar pirate group thrive in the asteroid star domain? The Fire Lizard clan leader felt disdain, but kept these thoughts to himself. I received news half an hour ago that this man's flagship has already returned to the Lion King star system. Han Xiao displayed a video of a gray T3 interstellar warship. There were also a few other gray interstellar warships following, but their ship information couldn't be identified, and there were only 3 in total. Han Xiao, give the order. The leader of the three-headed dog pirates clenched his fists eagerly. Han Shao stood up, adopting a brave stance. The fleet departs today, heading to the Lion King star system. Destroy the enemy ships. Zhao Chen finally led his fleet back. Fortunately, the Fire Lizard clan hadn't launched an attack yet. The Lion King star system remained peaceful. At the temporary base outside the third planet of the Lion King star system, it was clear to see two T2 Hammer-class heavy industrial ships had set up work platforms, with two nearly completed interstellar warships already on the way. Charlotte and Secretary AI Li, who had been summoned, took a shuttle to Zhao Chen's T3 Blizzard-class light starship cruiser's bridge to discuss the next steps. Zhao Chen looked surprised at the video showing the two T2 Hammer ships' work platforms, where the starships were about to be finished. "You really surprised me," Zhao Chen said, looking at Charlotte beside him. Charlotte pointed to Secretary AI Li and said, "All of this was her plan, but due to poor communication, she didn't report it to you in time. In the rush to inform you about the Fire Lizard clan earlier, she overlooked this." Secretary AI Li immediately said firmly, "Sorry, Commander, I didn't ask for your permission before acting on my own." "No, you did very well. I was actually wondering if our combat strength would be enough in this battle. But with the two starships you ordered to build, our fighting power has greatly increased." Zhao Chun praised Commander AI Li. The two T2 Iron Hammers under construction are actually two T2 Lion King-class heavy star missile ships. Judging by the construction progress, they should be ready for trial flight today. According to Secretary AI Li, because Zhao Chun previously gained influence in the Lion King star system, many other planets' forces have sent valuable gifts, mainly raw materials and resources. The two T2 Iron Hammers dispatched to the Lion King star system, after repairing the original Falcon Dragon fleet, were left idle. Since the resources for building the Stargate are still insufficient, AI Li ordered the construction of two T2 Lion King-class heavy star missile ships instead. The performance of the T2 Lion King ships in battle was very impressive, and their combat power was truly terrifying. Although they cost a lot of money, their strength was undeniable. Since the star system is close to the dwarf planet, clan leader Bakeen was happy to take on part of the construction of low and mid-level components, which greatly sped up the building of the two T2 Lion King ships. Of course, AI Li's plans did not delay the construction of the T3 Bright Moon Stargate in the Lion King star system, as many raw materials had yet to be transported there. Recently, Zhao Chen learned that the Blood Mary mercenary group had delivered a batch of raw materials to the Falcon Dragon star system, and the T3 Bright Moon Stargate construction there was proceeding normally. Several T2 Moose-class heavy star transport ships, fully loaded with raw materials, are on their way to the Lion King star system. These resources will ensure the smooth construction of the T3 Bright Moon Stargate. However, the immediate priority is to deal with the trouble caused by the Fire Lizard clan. Getting to the main point, do we have detailed intelligence about the Fire Lizard clan? Zhao Chen asked. He expected that the Fire Lizard clan might seek revenge, but he didn't expect them to arrive so quickly, as interstellar wars are not something that can be fought on a whim. Less than 2 months after the Fire Lizard clan was defeated, they have recovered? Regarding this, I have the latest information to share with you. The situation might be much worse than we previously thought, Charlotte said seriously. Zhao Chen waited for Charlotte to continue. Charlotte then said, "About a week ago, we received some intelligence, and after confirming it ourselves, we found it to be true. The information is that the Fire Lizard clan has allied with 3 other interstellar forces, the three-headed dog interstellar pirates, the Black Pig people, and the Jibbo clan. They have more than 3,000 starships. And the number of T3 interstellar warships is not 5, but 10. Zhao Chen frowned. This was far beyond his expectations. He wasn't afraid of many T1 interstellar warships. His main concern was the enemy's T2 and especially T3 interstellar warships. T3 warships are a real threat to Zhao Chen's Dragon Falcon fleet. But a somewhat good piece of news is that among these 10 T3 warships, 5 are starship escorts, and the remaining 5 include 1 cruiser, 2 destroyers, and 2 battleships. All of these ships are of relatively old models, Charlotte explained. What about their T2 warships? Zhao Chen asked. Nearly 800. With 10 T3 warships and almost 800 T2 warships, plus nearly 2,500 T1 warships. The total far exceeded Zhao Chen's expectations. How can the Fire Lizard clan bring so many interstellar warships? Zhao Chen wondered. Based on what they knew before, the Fire Lizard clan shouldn't have that much power. This is also something we find confusing. The person who provided us with this intelligence said they must meet with you to explain everything, Charlotte said. Meet with me? So, the person you mentioned earlier who provided this intelligence is the one who wants to see me? Zhao Chen asked. Charlotte nodded. About a week ago, we already knew that the Fire Lizard clan was planning to attack us again, so we started preparing our fleet. At that time, someone contacted us through clan leader Bakin and shared this intelligence, Charlotte said. They also said they want to work with us, but the condition is that they must speak with you personally, Zhao Chen thought. In the Dark Reef Star domain, Zhao Chen and his people have few connections. If someone suddenly approaches him for cooperation, it's probably not because of his personal charm. The most likely reason is that they want to use him as a tool to achieve their goals. The Fire Lizard clan alone cannot gather such a large fleet. They must have support from a powerful backer. It's also very likely that the person seeking cooperation has conflicts with the forces behind the Fire Lizard clan. Zhao Chen asked, Do you know who this person is? Charlotte revealed a crest. It was a circle with 9 snake heads spinning around it. They are from the Snake People, one of the top interstellar powers in the Dark Reef Star domain. The person they want to talk about is their queen, Medusa. In a star system within the Dark Reef Star domain, a woman with a snake tail and small snakes hissing from her hair was chatting via video call with a human woman. Medusa, are you sure you want to cooperate with that interstellar force from the Lion King star system? The human woman asked, looking at the snake queen on the screen. Medusa stroked the small snakes on her head and said calmly, Our cooperation is only with forces of equal strength. The woman chuckled softly. If you want to use them, just say so. Medusa looked at her and said, You, as the leader of the neutral trade group in the Dark Reef Star domain, are the one who told me this news. Aren't you worried that once this gets out, the stargates you control might be taken back? The woman's strength is not as great as Medusa's, but she is the leader of the Thorn Free Trade Group, one of the 3 major interstellar trade groups in the Dark Reef Star domain. She controls nearly 30% of the market and 30% of the Stargate control rights. Coincidentally, the Stargate control for the Lion King star system is in her hands, and she was the one who told Medusa about the details of what happened there. In the end, Medusa decided to carry out this plan. What have I done? I, Red Rose, just casually chatted with my good friend. The woman, Red Rose, said softly, biting her lips, appearing gentle and fragile. No one would believe that this woman is truly fragile. A delicate creature couldn't survive in the asteroid star region. That group probably touched your interests, Medusa said bluntly. Red Rose lit something similar to a cigarette, took a puff, and exhaled red mist. I don't care what that group wants to do in the star region, but they dared to cross my bottom line and steal people on my turf. Do they think I, Red Rose, am just a pretty vase? Actually, many forces in the star region have long been unhappy with that group. If they weren't afraid of their strength, they would have already fought back. I was planning to tell you this news and hear your thoughts, but I didn't expect you to be ready to act immediately, Red Rose said, eyes fixed on Medusa. No wonder you're the queen. Medusa snorted coldly. Instead of being boiled slowly like frogs in warm water by that group, it's better to tear through the disguise and make it clear that this isn't their empire. This is the asteroid star region. All right. I'll wait for your good news. Just don't end up hurting yourself in the process. Finding a good friend in this place is really hard. Red Rose winked at Medusa. Medusa looked at the closed video window, and suddenly a message popped up. Seeing the message, Medusa's expression changed to one of a hunter's alertness. It was from one of the leading forces in the star region, controlling 12 star systems and nearly 5,000 interstellar warships. It's a second-rate power like the Fire Lizard clan, completely incomparable. Zhao Chun was currently reviewing the information about the Snake People. Just now, he had agreed to a conversation with them and was waiting for their reply. Soon, a communication request appeared. Zhao Chun clicked accept, and a beautiful woman appeared on the screen. Her appearance was somewhat different from humans. Her skin was as bright as the moon, with several small snakes sticking out of her head, wearing fiery scale armor that revealed a slim waist. According to the snake people, there should be a snake tail hidden somewhere out of Zhao Chen's view. Although her appearance was very different from humans, her aggressive gaze and her curvy, attractive body lines made her impossible for Zhao Chen to have aesthetic barriers. "Are you the commander of the Lion King fleet?" Medusa asked first. "Right, I had announced my identity as the Lion King fleet in the Lion Star system." "Yes, I am. First, I want to thank your majesty for the information you provided. It was very helpful to us," Zhao Chun said gratefully. "Although the other side might be using me, I still appreciate the gesture. It's just a small thing, and it won't hurt to be polite. Let's not test each other anymore. Let's be straightforward. I want to work with you," Medusa said directly. "Really so blunt. How does your majesty want to cooperate?" Zhao Chun asked. Medusa's beautiful eyes looked at Zhao Chun. Her gaze was very intense. If Zhao Chun were the old him, he might have already bowed and begged. "The forces behind the Fire Lizard clan hate me. They are planning to attack you now. I want to take revenge on them. When their fleet attacked your Lion Star system, I hope you can delay them for at least 5 hours. During these 5 hours, I will send my fleet to attack the Gaebwa, Black Pig, and Fire Lizard star systems. The loot we take, we split evenly. The star systems we seize, we share equally. What do you think, Your Majesty? That sincerity isn't enough. My fleet is fighting desperately up front. Meanwhile, your fleet is raiding others' homes behind the scenes. It seems I do all the hard work, and you get all the benefits. Using people as pawns isn't how we should do things." Zhao Chen shook his head slightly. Medusa frowned slightly. They both fell silent for a few seconds. Finally, Medusa spoke first. "This won't hurt you. Do you think that just your star fleet can handle the Fire Lizard clan's fleets? If I attack their star systems covertly, I can cause chaos among them, giving you a chance. Who says my star fleet can't handle these pests?" Zhao Chen smiled at Medusa. "Relying on fewer than 20 starships to fight 3,000? Although I heard that his Lion King fleet had fought a great battle before. This time was different from before. Previously, there were only 2 T3 interstellar warships, but now there are 10. Looking at the man's confident eyes, it seems he's not just bragging. Tell me, what do you need to agree to cooperate?" Medusa finally agreed. She had finally caught a chance to target that group, and if she didn't seize it, she would regret it. "I can do as you said earlier, but I want you to send a fleet to support me," Zhao Chen said, holding up 5 fingers. 500 interstellar warships, including at least 100 T2 ships. I will command them directly. Even if I tell them to die, they must do it. Zhao Chen's tone was firm and unquestionable. He added, "If on the battlefield they don't follow my orders, I might not be able to stop those 3,000 interstellar warships." After a moment of thought, Medusa agreed. "All right, I'll give you 500 warships. I hope you can do what you say, or else." Zhao Chen didn't care about Medusa's threat. He raised another finger. "I have one more condition." Medusa frowned. She thought this man was a bit greedy, but what he said next surprised her. "I don't care what you do, but the main base of the Fire Lizard clan must stay with me," Zhao Chen said with a slight smile. If this snake-human tribe really decides to cooperate with him, he can take the opportunity to build connections in the Dark Reef star domain. If the other side wants to become the second Fire Lizard tribe, Zhao Chen doesn't mind letting that queen taste the failure. Moreover, that aggressive look actually gives off a sense of desire to conquer. "Charlotte, go prepare everything. Make sure all the interstellar warships are in top combat readiness. After all, this time we are facing 10 T3 interstellar warships. We can't be careless," Zhao Chun said seriously. Zhao Chen's Falcon Dragon fleet begins to prepare for battle, and the soon-to-be-retired T2 Lion King-class heavy interstellar missile ships are also ready to join the fight. During this break, Zhao Chen opened the system page. He had been rushing all along and didn't have time to check the quarterly tasks refreshed. Quarterly task: exchange for AT3 interstellar warship blueprint from the system shop. Number of combat interstellar warships needed: 30, 17/30. With Zhao Chen's current capacity of T2 Hammer-class heavy industrial ships, building 30 combat ships is not a problem. However, the first time to exchange for AT3 interstellar warship from the system shop is a bit challenging, because exchanging for AT3 warship costs a lot of system points. After exchanging for the T3 Moonlight-class Stargate, Zhao Chun has very few points left, not enough to get AT3 warship. He needs to find a way to earn more system points. Triggered system mission. Battle against the Fire Lizard Allied Forces. Difficulty. B. Mission details. Complete the following objectives during this battle. Rewards depend on the completion level. If less than 60%, the mission fails. Requirement 1. Destroy a certain number of enemy ships to earn 5% per milestone. 500, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, 2,500, 3,000 ships. Requirement 2. Destroy T3 interstellar warships of the enemy fleet. Each destroyed ship grants 5% completion. Requirement 3. Kill key figures in the enemy fleet. Each grants 5% completion. Han Tianwang, Zhang Haoran, Fire Lizard Tribe Leader, Black Pig Tribe Leader, Three-Headed Dog Space Pirates Leader, Jibbo Tribe Leader. This sudden system mission was expected by Zhao Chun. After all, where there is a spectacle, there must be a system involved. However, the appearance of two target characters in the system mission surprised Zhao Chun. Han Tianwang, Zhang Haoran. When Zhao Chun saw these two names, he was stunned for a few seconds before reacting. Aren't they the two wealthy men who once invited him to dinner? Fire Lizard Clan actually has connections with them? They appeared in the Dark Reef star domain. Zhao Chun was a bit surprised. At this moment, he suspected that the reason the other side mobilized so many interstellar warships to attack him might be related to Han Tianwang and Zhang Haoran. Could it be that they are involved? Things are getting more interesting. Zhao Chun narrowed his eyes. Earlier, Medusa mentioned that behind the Fire Lizard Clan's interstellar forces, there was a power from the Starshine Empire, especially the Three-Headed Dog Interstellar Pirate Group, which was a puppet supported by that power. Medusa wasn't exactly sure what the power was, only knowing it was from the Starshine Empire and probably held a high status. Recently, this power has been very active in the Dark Reef star domain. They even attacked Medusa's fleet a few months ago, but because their actions were covert and Medusa kept quiet, no one outside knew about it. But Medusa wouldn't just let it go. This time, she finally had a chance for revenge and took the opportunity to ask Zhao Chun for cooperation. Zhao Chun carefully examined this system mission. Completing each requirement grants 5% progress. That means he needs to complete at least 12 to reach 60% progress. There are 10 T3 interstellar warships, 6 targets related to enemy ships, and 6 character objectives. He could complete up to 22. If you all choose to die, don't blame me. Zhao Chun's eyes flashed with a murderous look. Over 3,000 interstellar warships roared as they crossed the Lion King star system gate and arrived in the Lion King star system. This was probably the first time such a large-scale combat fleet appeared in the Lion King star system, especially with 10 T3 interstellar warships among them. In the control room of the Stargate, the administrator uncle looked at the scene before him. Although he had already received related notices, seeing it with his own eyes still left him stunned. Wow. Even the Three-Headed Dog Interstellar Pirate Group's fleet has appeared, the companion nearby exclaimed in surprise. The administrator uncle recalled the orders given earlier. Everything was the same, but he released an unmanned reconnaissance drone to record the battlefield and report any intelligence immediately. No interference with the battlefield. Uncle, do you think the Lion King fleet can win this time? The companion asked. Don't ask questions you shouldn't. Just do your job, the administrator uncle replied in a deep voice. His instincts told him this star battle was definitely unusual. It might even affect the situation across the entire Dark Reef star region. He stared at the stars, where over 3,000 starships slowly disappeared into the distance. Silently, he sent a private message through a secure channel. About 10 minutes after the 3,000-plus starships left, the Stargate received a message requesting passage from 500 more starships. Another 500 starships? The Lion King star system is so lively today. Usually, a whole year's worth of combat starships wouldn't match today's number. The companion muttered in confusion. The administrator uncle watched as 500 starships crossed through the Stargate. These starships bore a symbol of a 9-headed serpent on their hulls. The Serpent People's starships have arrived. In a star system within the Lion King star region, more than 3,000 starships were heading grandly toward the third planet of this star system. According to their information, their target was in that area. But unexpectedly, before reaching their destination, their radar detected energy signals from enemy ships. Report, Our starship radar detected enemy energy signals, 15 starships. Based on previous combat data, there are 10 T-2 starfighter escorts, 1 T-2 carrier starship, 1 T-2 missile ship, 1 T-3 battleship cruiser, and a suspected T-2 battleship, the vice commander reported to Han Tianwang behind him. Han Tianwang sat proudly in the captain's chair. He was now a fleet commander, leading over 3,000 starships. Thinking about it, he felt a bit excited. How many people in the North Star and the Academy had his skills? Haha, soon he would become his own defeated opponent. Give the order to form the battle formation. Remember, when the fight begins, charge at full speed. The main threat from the enemy fleet is that T-2 interstellar missile ship. As long as we close the distance, we can weaken its threat. There is also that carrier starship. Once we take down these 2 interstellar warships of the Falcon Dragon fleet, the rest, those starry ships and the T-3 interstellar warship, won't matter much, Han Tianwang confidently said. A T-3 interstellar warship? Han Tianwang, also have some, 10 of them. That's 10 times more. Even if Zhao Qin's T-3 Blizzard is very strong, can it really fight 10 of mine? Under Han Tianwang's command, over 3,000 starships slowly formed a battle array, arranged in a half-moon shape. This shows they are ready to surround the Falcon Dragon fleet completely once the battle starts. T-3 Blizzard-class light interstellar battlecruiser. Bridge Zhao Qin sat calmly in the captain's chair, watching the holographic star battlefield in front of him. There are about 3,300 starships, according to his ship radar scan. 10 T-3 starships, over 800 T-2 starships, and 2,500 T-1 starships. Zhao Qin doesn't care much about the T-1 starships. They are just insignificant cannon fodder, useless even if there are many. Only the weak rely on these cannon fodder ships to boost their power. The over 800 T-2 starships include more than 600 T-2 ships, about 150 T-2 destroyers, 50 T-2 cruisers, 15 T-2 battlecruisers, and 2 T-2 battleships along with 5 T-2 carrier ships. Zhao Qin's gaze just briefly swept over these T-2 ships, not even bothering to read their names. They'll just be a string of numbers in the battle report soon enough. His focus was on the 10 T-3 starships, 5 T-3 statuary-class medium interstellar ships. This is the most common T-3 ship in the Reef Star domain, from the Warhammer Interstellar United States, because Warhammer's external ship sales are not very strict. Most of the starships in the Reef Star domain, especially the T-3 ships, are produced by Warhammer. The characteristic of Warhammer's interstellar ships is that they may not be very powerful in battle, but they are easy to repair, inexpensive, and simple to operate. They are very suitable for the orc race. They also fit well in the environment of the Dark Reef Star domain. There are also a T-3 Poison Scorpion-class medium interstellar cruiser, 2 T-3 Porcupine-class medium interstellar destroyers, and 2 T-3 Arkham-class medium interstellar battleships. Report: we received a communication request, Ailey reported to Zhao Qin. I thought those snake players were going to stand me up. Zhao Qin smiled slightly and accepted the communication request. A video window opened, and a female snake person appeared on the screen. She looked proud, but compared to the Medusa Queen, she lacked some commanding presence. The Medusa Queen is confident. This female snake person seems more arrogant. After the video call connected, she didn't speak, but stared at Zhao Qin. What's going on? The Medusa Queen actually sent me a mute. Zhao Qin pretended to be annoyed and looked at Ailey beside him. You're the mute, the female snake person retorted. So you can talk? Zhao Qin looked at her in surprise. You. She initially wanted to give a strong first impression, but didn't expect Zhao Qin to ignore her status entirely. Report your situation, Zhao Qin said calmly. The female snake person said seriously, be mindful of your attitude. Zhao Qin narrowed his eyes and said in a deep tone, what you should be mindful of is your attitude. Your queen didn't explain clearly. This mission of yours. You're here to follow my orders. Even if I tell you to die, you must obediently carry out the command. The female snake person was a bit angry, but before she could get mad, Zhao Qin added, of course, if you're unwilling, that's fine. I can just slack off or tell the enemy fleet that your queen is secretly betraying her own. When they withdraw, how much damage will your queen's fleet suffer? Who will take responsibility for that? Hearing this, the female snake person finally let go of her arrogance. She said in a deep voice, I am the commander of the 7th Fleet of the Snake People Starship Corps, Qingman. I am ordered to lead 500 snake starships and obey your command. Little Qing, you've been so obedient all along. Why act like that just now? Zhao Chen said playfully. A black line appeared on Qingman's forehead. I have already sent you the action plan. The task is very simple. Even a 3-year-old can understand it. I think you, Xiao Qing, should have no problem, right? Zhao Chen said. Qingman received the message. She looked at the plan and frowned. Remember, you are only here to follow orders, Zhao Chen said seriously, with a firm tone. Qingman felt very annoyed but still replied, Yes, Eili, contact the flagship on the other side. Tell them to send Han Tianwang and Zhang Haoran out to talk. If they have the guts, they should come out and fight. Instead of hiding, Zhao Chen sneered. Yes, Eili said, and went to handle Zhao Chen's instructions. Soon, 2 video windows appeared. On the other side were Han Tianwang and Zhang Haoran. How come you 2 elementary students are here? Zhao Chen pretended to be surprised. Zhang Haoran looked at Zhao Chen's face and couldn't help but feel angry. Zhao Chen, stop talking nonsense. Today, this is your burial place. The humiliation you gave me before, I will pay back with your life. Zhang Haoran spoke first, which made Han Tianwang a bit unhappy. He looked at Zhao Chen coldly and said, You only have yourself to blame for messing with what you shouldn't have, doing what you shouldn't. Zhao Chen was stunned, then suddenly understood. Oh, you mean Sister Sulan? You're angry because you couldn't win her and want to get rid of me. But you really don't deserve Sister Sulan. Don't be fooled by her icy appearance. She's actually very gentle. After speaking, Zhao Chen deliberately showed a flirtatious expression and licked his lips. Zhao Chen, you're asking for trouble. Han Tianwang immediately felt even more annoyed. Young Master Han, don't waste time with this kid. Just destroy him, Zhang Haoran shouted. Zhao Chen looked at Zhang Haoran with disdain. Destroy me? You're not even qualified. Haha. Do you still think you can beat us? Look at your starship, then look at our interstellar warships. Over 3,000 of them. How can you win? We can crush you easily, Zhang Haoran mocked. Unfortunately, how I will win, you probably won't see that scene. I see your bridge background. It looks like a T3 Arkham-class medium interstellar battleship. Zhao Chen smiled as he looked at Zhang Haoran. Zhang Haoran didn't understand why Zhao Chen suddenly mentioned this. Suddenly, he saw his ship's bridge display, and outside his starship, a starship appeared out of nowhere. On this starship, he could clearly see the star missile launchers already activated. Seeing this, Zhang Haoran's eyes widened in shock, as if he were in an icy cave. At the same time, the enemy attack alarm sounded on the starship. Warning! 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 My ship is locked on by star missiles. T3 Illusion Stinger Light Interstellar Stealth Bomber. Bridge. Before this battle started, the T3 Illusion Stinger had already hidden in this area. Zhao Chen's Falcon Dragon fleet was pretending to have just arrived. They were just chatting with the enemy to delay time, allowing the T3 Illusion Stinger to reach the best attack position smoothly. That ideal attack position was naturally in the middle of those T3 starships, so the Illusion Stinger could attack them all at once. Although those T3 starships had already activated their star shields at the front, they only had shields on one side, because they were T3 ships. So, as long as the Illusion Stinger chose the right attack direction, it could be very effective. Air, a top student from the Northern Star Starship Military Academy, quickly identified the best attack point based on the enemy fleet's formation. This is the spot. Move there. Air ordered. The T3 Illusion Stinger silently began to sneak forward. During this stealth, the enemy fleet had no idea that a T3 starship was hiding right among them. Several times, it almost brushed past their starships without being noticed. Soon, the Illusion Stinger reached its designated position. At the same time, looking at the holographic star battlefield map, Air issued a series of attack preparation commands. The T3 Illusion Stinger's trait is that it remains still until it attacks. Then it unleashes full firepower. Its goal is to fire as many star missiles and star torpedoes as possible from its ship in the shortest time, complete the kill, and then quickly retreat from the battlefield. This is the combat method of the interstellar stealth bomber. Therefore, before attacking, Zhao Wanner must plan all targets, attack routes, and methods carefully. First, she assigned 2 T3 Arkham-class ships as attack targets. One of them is positioned near the flank of the T-3 Phantom Sting, which is a bit too close, and the explosion shockwave might affect the T-3 Phantom Sting. But the impact is minimal. In addition, 3 T-3 Sphinx-class medium starship escorts and 1 T-3 Pufferfish-class medium starship destroyer are also designated as main targets. There are also several secondary targets, and which ones to attack will depend on the situation at the time. Each of these 2 T-3 Arkham-class medium starship battleships and the 3 T-3 Sphinx-class escorts will be equipped with 30 heavy short-range particle torpedoes, 3 short-range heavy mother bombs, and 3 short-range heavy anti-ship missiles. Additionally, the T-3 Pufferfish-class medium starship destroyer will carry 20 starship torpedoes. Zhao Wanner has planned the firepower attack for the 3 minutes of the upcoming. After this attack, the T-3 Phantom Sting's ammunition stock will still have 30 heavy short-range particle torpedoes, 5 short-range heavy anti-ship missiles, and 5 short-range heavy mother bombs. There are also 10 optical mimicry missiles used for escape. Zhao Wanner will decide how to use these remaining weapons based on the situation later. Report: the attack routes for the 2 T-3 Arkham-class ships are ready for fire. Report: the attack routes for the 3 T-3 Sphinx-class escorts are ready for fire. Report: the attack route for the T-3 Pufferfish-class destroyer is ready for fire. Report: the missile launch tubes and starship torpedo launchers are prepared. Each department reports their status. This means the stealth assassin, the T-3 Phantom Sting, is about to begin its hunting moment. Zhao Wanner covers her heart and takes a deep breath. Although she appears calm on the outside, she must admit that executing this mission really makes her adrenaline surge and her palms sweat. Meanwhile, these attack signals were secretly sent back through a very hidden communication channel to the fleet flagship, the T-3 Blizzard Bridge. Zhao Chun, who was communicating with Han Tianwang and Zhang Haoran, had a slight smile at the corner of his mouth as he spoke to Zhang Haoran. Fire upon all locked enemy ships in 5 seconds. Zhao Wanner paused briefly before giving the order. At this moment, Zhang Haoran was confused by Zhao Chen's words. His pupils suddenly widened as he saw a starship appear out of nowhere right in front of him. Then, he watched as that starship fired dozens of interstellar torpedoes and missiles at the T-3 Arkham where he was. What's going on? How can there be a starship here? Zhang Haoran was panicked. As the captain, his first instinct should have been to order the ship's intercept system to activate and for the shield to immediately adjust its defenses. Even without his command, these actions would have been taken. But there would be a delay of a few seconds. And it was this delay that cost Zhang Haoran dearly. First, 10 interstellar torpedoes hit his starship's hull. Warning! 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 The starship's starboard armor is under attack. Remaining armor strength, 63%. Zhang Haoran felt the ship shake violently, but that was just the beginning. Because the starship kept firing interstellar torpedoes and missiles, like a shower of stars. And the starship he was on was just one of the targets. Within seconds, another 10 torpedoes struck the same damaged area. Warning! 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 The starship's starboard armor is under attack. Remaining armor strength, 35%. At the same time, several missiles followed. First, 3 submunitions dropped, exploding midair near the T-3 Arkham, scattering into hundreds of small bombs that spread across the ship's surface. On the bridge, Zhang Haoran could hear the sounds of armor being hit, rubbing, cracking, and booming. The entire bridge lights flickered red, and the crew around him became chaotic, with the command system in disarray. Warning! Multiple secondary gun positions damaged. Warning! Several sections of the ship's armor have been hit. Warning! Interstellar missiles are on the way and have locked onto our ship. At this moment, the third wave of 10 interstellar torpedoes hit the same spot again, this time tearing through the right side armor of the T-3 Arkham, exposing the ship's interior compartments. If time could be paused, perhaps we would see the terrified expressions of the space soldiers inside these compartments. But such fear quickly vanished, as their bodies were destroyed in the explosion. A large fire and smoke appeared on the right side of the T-3 Arkham. The starship has been heavily damaged. Although the star shields have been adjusted to the correct position, they are no longer effective. This is because the last 3 short-range heavy anti-ship missiles bypassed the star shields and directly attacked the damaged area of the starship. At this moment, Zhang Haoran hears constant warnings from the system urging him to retreat immediately. But now it is too late. Under everyone's watch, this T3 Arkham-class medium starship is destroyed in flames. Meanwhile, several other T3 starships in the fleet also suffer from this sudden attack. Han Tianwang suddenly jumps up from his captain's chair, staring in disbelief at the scene on the display screen. And at the image of the culprit. Is that an interstellar stealth bomber? Han Tianwang cannot believe it. Mission progress updated. Target character Zhang Haoran eliminated. Progress 5%. Mission progress updated. 1 T3 interstellar warship destroyed. Progress 10%. The system's notification sound flashes through Zhao Chen's mind, surprising him a little. Actually, the enemy fleet has 2 T3 Arkham-class medium starships, but Zhao Chen doesn't know which one Zhang Haoran is on. He only knows that Warner has designated both T3 Arkham ships as attack targets. Unexpectedly, this guy is so unlucky. The first ship to be hit is the one he's on. Meanwhile, other T3 starships in the enemy fleet are also under attack by interstellar missiles and torpedoes. Because the T3 Illusion-level light interstellar stealth bomber was close to their interstellar battleship, it was impossible to avoid it. They could only quickly change the direction of the star shield and hope that the ship's interception system could block as many of the enemy's attacks as possible. Execute the original plan in 5 minutes. The T2 Lion King-class heavy interstellar missile ship, Vessel 1, will focus fire on the main T2 interstellar battleship target. The T2 Queen B-class heavy carrier starship begins deploying interstellar drones, preparing to take control of the airspace and attack the enemy's T2 interstellar battleships. The other interstellar ships are temporarily on standby, Zhao Chen said. Yes, Ailey, standing nearby, began relaying the command to the starships of the Falcon Dragon fleet. The missile launch tubes on T2 Lion King Vessel 1 are ready, with each interstellar missile in a state ready to fire at any moment. Additionally, the ship's targeting system has already locked onto nearly 100 enemy T2 interstellar battleships as attack targets. At this moment, Han Tianwang and others' attention was still on the suddenly appearing interstellar stealth bomber in the center of their fleet. How can there be a T3 interstellar stealth bomber in our formation? Han Tianwang shouted. Perhaps due to good luck, the T3 Poison Scorpion-class medium interstellar cruiser where Han Tianwang was located was far enough away not to be targeted by the stealth bomber. But his old friend Zhao Chun was not so lucky. The leader of the Fire Lizard tribe had previously encountered the Falcon Dragon fleet with a T3 ACOM, which, like another fallen T3 ACOM, was targeted for attack. But he was much smarter than Zhang Haoran, the fool. He immediately ordered the star shield to be repositioned, activating the interception system on his ship. He also ordered the nearest T1 and T2 interstellar ships to do everything possible to intercept the interstellar torpedoes and missiles. As a result, some ships used themselves as shields. Although the T3 ACOM, where the Fire Lizard leader was located, still suffered some attacks. 15 out of 30 interstellar torpedoes hit, while the rest were either intercepted or blocked by the timely change of the star shields. 3 T3 short-range heavy interstellar missiles were intercepted. One was stopped by a ship, and another was blocked by a T2 interstellar cruiser that sacrificed itself, turning into a fireball. 3 short-range heavy mother bombs were launched. One was intercepted, but the remaining 2 hit the T3 Arkham ship. Warning: the starship's port side armor has been hit. Remaining armor strength is 31%. Some areas are breached, 16 compartments are damaged and have been sealed off. 38 crew members have died. Warning: the star shield has been attacked. Shield energy is at 53%. Warning: the upper part of the starship has been hit by area fire, with armor strength at 41%. Warning: the rear of the ship has been attacked. Armor in that section is breached. 3 compartments are damaged and sealed. 22 crew members have died, and 3 secondary guns in that area have been destroyed. Warning: the ship's power system is malfunctioning, with power supply reduced by 30%. Warning: several weapon modules are malfunctioning. Fortunately, the T3 Arkham, which narrowly avoided destruction, is in bad shape. The entire starship looks as if it was just pulled out of a junkyard. Everywhere is a scene of destruction. Fire, smoke, and occasional explosions continue nonstop. If not for the fire lizard leader turning off the alarm system in the bridge, it probably would have deafened him. Counterattack. Han Xiao, attack now. The fire lizard leader shouted through the fleet communication system. This system is used for coordinating commands among different forces. At this moment, Han Tianwang had already ordered a full-scale attack on the T-3 stealth interstellar bomber. Destroy that stealth bomber. Han Tianwang commanded all starship units capable of attacking the T-3 stealth bomber. Almost all main guns, secondary guns, and interstellar missiles of the nearby starships aimed at the T-3 stealth bomber. In an instant, it was as if a scene of a goddess scattering flowers was played in reverse. Countless attacks began to rain down on the T-3 stealth interstellar bomber. With this level of firepower, even a T-3 interstellar battleship couldn't withstand it. After all, the star shield of the T-3 interstellar battleship can only defend in one direction, so other attacks will definitely hit its hull. It is well known that the T-3 interstellar stealth bomber is usually built with a light frame structure to better hide during travel, which makes its defenses weaker. It simply cannot withstand such an attack. At this moment, Han Tianwang watched the screen, seeing the T-3 interstellar stealth bomber about to be covered by enemy fire. But surprisingly, all those attacks were blocked. At a distance from the bomber, explosions occurred one after another. It was as if a wall had blocked all the attacks. This scene looked like a sky full of fireworks, highlighting the bomber in the middle. Han Tianwang quickly stepped forward, staring intensely at the scene on the screen. He saw something incredible, a transparent energy shield. How is this possible? Han Tianwang's eyes widened in disbelief. Other fleet commanders also looked at the T-3 stealth bomber with surprise. They saw the unbelievable scene just now. As they examined the energy shield more closely, they realized what was happening. This T-3 stealth bomber had actually installed a T-4 level full-spectrum star shield. This shield can defend against attacks from all directions and is much stronger than the T-3 star shield system. Zhao Chun, Han Tianwang stared blankly, repeating the man's name. How did this guy manage to install a T-4 star shield on a T-3 battleship? In just 3 minutes, the T-3 Phantom Stinger Light interstellar stealth bomber launched 170 heavy short-range particle star torpedoes, 15 short-range heavy anti-ship missiles, and 15 short-range heavy cluster bombs. The results were clear. In 3 minutes, it destroyed 1 T-3 Arkham-class medium interstellar battleship and 3 Stone Statue-class medium interstellar ships. It also severely damaged 1 T-3 Arkham-class battleship and 1 T-3 Pug-class medium interstellar destroyer. In just 3 minutes, it managed to attack 6 same-level interstellar warships and achieve such impressive results. Probably only a special ship like the interstellar stealth bomber could do this. Warning: the star shield is under attack. Remaining shield energy is at 41%. Zhao Wanner looked at the flickering green number in front of her. When it drops below 30%, it turns yellow. Below 10%, it turns red. If the star shield disappears, the T-3 Phantom Sting will be instantly covered by powerful fire and destroyed. Launch the remaining 30 heavy short-range particle torpedoes, 5 short-range heavy anti-ship missiles, and 5 short-range heavy cluster bombs toward these 3 directions. After firing these interstellar missiles and torpedoes, launch 5 optical mimic missiles toward each of the 5 directions. Then immediately switch to stealth mode and head toward the slash direction. Zhao Wanner was surprisingly calm now, completely free of the initial tension. At this moment, she felt more composed than ever. Many decisions that normally would take her a while to think through now came to her instantly. She even felt like she belonged here, as if she was created for moments like this. Yes, the vice commander next to her began relaying Zhao Wanner's commands. The interstellar torpedo launchers and missile silos, which had just paused, started working again. One by one, the missiles and torpedoes followed their planned paths toward the target area. At the same time, the 5 optical mimic missiles were quickly launched. First, these 5 missiles exploded after reaching a certain distance, creating a fog-like scene. This fog covered the hull of the T-3 Phantom Sting. The visual effect of the fog only lasted a few seconds. After it dissipated, all 6 T-3 Phantom Stings appeared in that area, each heading in different directions. It's mimicry missiles. This starship wants to escape. Han Tianhuang immediately sensed the intention of the interstellar stealth bomber. This cursed interstellar battleship destroyed 4 of his T-3 starships right under his nose. How could he let it escape? It felt like a slap in the face. Stop it. Don't let it get away. Even with full coverage star shields, he didn't believe that their many starships couldn't break through its shields, shouted Han Tianhuang. Meanwhile, the T-3 illusionary attack ships had already launched their interstellar missiles and torpedoes, which exploded at their designated spots. 5 short-range heavy mother bombs detonated in a dense area of starships. Any T-1 starship hit by those small split bombs was basically destroyed. T-1 starships simply couldn't withstand the weapons of T-3 starships, not even a single split bomb. T-2 starships were also in trouble. A somewhat unlucky T-2 destroyer was caught in the area covered by the mother bombs, with dozens of small split bombs hitting its hull. Then, explosions kept happening one after another, and the T-2 destroyer was turned into debris. At this moment, the few T-3 stealth attack ships, real and fake, started turning invisible within seconds. To the eye, the starship bodies of the stealth attack ships began to vanish. The whole process took just a second. From visible, to semi-transparent, to completely gone. It was as if those T-3 stealth attack ships had never been there. During this process, some of the T-3 stealth attack ships were covered by enemy fire and gradually disappeared. They were illusions, phantoms created to deceive. Find them. Find them. Don't let that stealth attack ship escape, Han Tianhuang roared wildly. But the situation was now awkward because the T-3 stealth attack ship had already gone invisible. Although they could predict its position based on the last known location, their shots were not precise. At first, they could hit some traces, but soon, some shots started hitting their own friendly ships. Remember, all these starships belonged to Han Tianhuang's fleet. Firing toward the center might hit the enemy, but if they missed, what would happen? The friendly ships would suffer. Captain Han, we don't have an interstellar counter-stealth ship. That stealth bomber is impossible to find now, the pirate leader said helplessly. To deal with a stealthy interstellar bomber, you can either rely on anti-stealth devices installed on military bases and starports, or use a specialized interstellar anti-stealth ship. But remember, interstellar anti-stealth ships are rare. Besides some official fleet units that carry a few, do the pirates in the asteroid field have such ships? Han Tianhuang angrily clenched his fists. Right now, he felt like his fists were hitting empty air. Captain Han, the interstellar stealth bomber can only attack once. Reloading and resupplying take a long time. The upcoming battle is no longer a threat to us. The most important thing now is to win this fight. That starship can hide, but the fleet across from us won't, the pirate leader explained. Han Tianhuang stared at Zhao Chen's fleet. At this moment, his anger shifted from the situation to Zhao Chen himself. Zhao Chen, Han Tianhuang gritted his teeth. Just at the start of the battle, he lost 4 T-3 starships. That's like a slap in his face. Attack. Full speed ahead. Destroy all those starships. Han Tianhuang was giving orders when a warning sounded on his bridge. Warning. Incoming interstellar missiles detected. Han Tianhuang watched as the missiles began falling toward his fleet. Although his ships started intercepting, the effect was limited. The first wave of missiles exploded within his fleet, creating fireballs that swallowed his starships. The scene was very spectacular. Han Tianhuang watched this, and his heart felt like it was bleeding. Task completion percentage updated. Destroyed 1 T-3 interstellar battleship. Progress at 15%. Task completion percentage updated. Destroyed 1 T-3 interstellar battleship. Progress at 20%. Task completion percentage updated. Destroyed 1 T-3 interstellar battleship. Progress at 25%. Because Zhao Wan'er's T-3 Illusion Dagger-class light interstellar stealth bomber destroyed 4 T-3 interstellar battleships, plus Zhang Haoran, who was caught off guard. Zhao Chen's task completion has now reached 25%, and it's confirmed that the T-3 Illusion Dagger has begun to retreat. The number 1 ship of the T-2 Lion King-class heavy interstellar missile ships immediately started firing. White Snow, the female wolf captain of the Lion King No. 1 ship, kept clicking on the virtual control panel in front of her. This is the targeting interface for the interstellar missile lock-on system. Although there are dedicated crew members on the bridge responsible for this part, she still prefers to control it herself. Since she ordered the T2 Lion King to fire last time, she found she seemed to enjoy this feeling. She liked watching the enemy ships get destroyed under her fierce fire. Round after round, interstellar missiles were launched, causing explosions across the enemy fleet, lighting up the battlefield. That feeling made White Snow's ears stand up, her tail wagging constantly, and her breathing grew heavier. This feeling was so exciting. On the bridge of the T3 Blizzard-class light interstellar battleship, Zhao Chen stared at the data screen in front of him. At the top were 10 T3 interstellar battleships. 4 of them had turned gray, meaning they had been destroyed, and 2 were red, indicating heavy damage to their hulls. Below were 800 T2 interstellar battleships. In just a few minutes of fire from the T2 Lion King-class heavy interstellar missile ship, nearly 50 T2 ships were turned into wreckage. Another 50 or so T2 ships were damaged, and over 100 T1 interstellar ships were caught in the crossfire. After surviving this round of fire from the T2 Lion King, Han Tianhuang's fleet continued to advance. He firmly believed that Zhao Chen's 2 main weapons had already been used up. Although the appearance of the T3 interstellar stealth bomber was unexpected, a single T3 battleship could not change the situation. Zhao Chen's remaining trump card was the T3 Blizzard. He still had 3,000 interstellar warships. Would Zhao Chen's fierce dragon fleet survive this attack? Victory would ultimately belong to him. Report: the enemy fleet is beginning to retreat, the vice commander reported nearby. Looking at the starship radar, he saw that the 10 or so interstellar warships on the other side were slowly pulling back. Trying to run. No way out. Zhao Chen, today is your end, Han Tianhuang said with a fierce expression. The fierce dragon fleet was not retreating quickly. Han Tianhuang's allied fleet was holding tight and had already started to counterattack. But with 10 T2 Black Rhinoceros-class heavy ships and a T2 Queen Bee-class heavy carrier starship with its star shield, they were temporarily safe. At this moment, both sides' star drones and star fighters had begun to clash. Han Tianhuang's fleet had 2 T2 carriers, which launched 50 star fighters and 300 star drones. Star fighters and star drones are the 2 main weapons of interstellar carriers. The fighters can perform various combat missions and handle complex battle situations, and they carry more weapons because of their larger size. The drones can be quickly deployed to the battlefield and do not require pilots, meaning no personnel are lost if they are destroyed. However, the main focus of this space battle was the T2 Queen Bee's star drone swarm. First, 200 T2 Larva-class light star drones and 100 T2 Killer Bee-class medium star drones attacked, with 20 large Hornet-class heavy star drones behind them, targeting the enemy fleet's starships. The T2 Larva and Killer Bee drones showed incredible fighting power and coordination, almost crushing the enemy's star fighters and drones in a slaughter. The damage ratio reached 5-1. This meant that for every star drone lost by the T2 Queen Bee-class heavy carrier starship, the enemy had to pay the price of 5 star drones. During the battle between interstellar fighters and drones, 20 heavy Starship Bumblebee-class drones, protected by some other drones, began moving toward the enemy fleet's deep positions. The enemy fighters and drones caught in the space battle had no real chance to stop them. More importantly, it seemed that these Bumblebee-class drones were targeting the 2 T2 carrier ships of the enemy fleet. Zhao Chen wanted to take full control of the space dominance in this fight. Send my orders to that little green snake. In 10 minutes, launch a surprise attack from behind the enemy fleet, risking everything to break through and attack them from the rear. Zhao Chen instructed AI Li to deliver the command. Yes, AI Li responded and contacted the 500 starships of the Snake People. As the battle continued, Han Tianhuang's fleet gradually formed a semi-enclosing formation. If Zhao Chen's fleet got surrounded, the outcome would be clear. Zhao Chen looked at Charlotte, who was always ready and had returned to her combat position. He asked, "Are you sure you want to carry out this plan?" "You could choose a safer way," Charlotte firmly replied. "On the battlefield, gains and risks go hand in hand. Only by doing this can we defeat our opponent with minimal losses." "Please trust me, Commander," Zhao Chen smiled slightly. "If that's your choice, then go ahead without hesitation. To ensure your safety, I request that you go to the T2 Queen-class heavy carrier starship," Charlotte asked. Zhao Chen looked at her, understanding her concern. She was thinking about his safety. Do you think I am the kind of commander who would be afraid and hide in safety because of danger? Since you've decided to do this, I will stay here and watch over you. I will always be with my soldiers, Zhao Chun said confidently. Charlotte paused for a moment, then smiled, showing her small tiger tooth. Then please, sit tight, Commander. Zhao Chun knew his little brave girl was about to go all out. Swarm People Interstellar Fleet Commander Ching Man received a message from the commander of the Lion King Fleet. When she saw that the other side wanted her to lead 500 interstellar warships to attack the enemy fleet directly, she looked surprised. Using her 500 ships to break through over 3,000 enemy ships? That seemed like a suicidal move. Could it be that the other side wanted her fleet to serve as cannon fodder? Commander Ching Man felt very reluctant about this order, but the Queen had previously commanded that she must follow the man's orders during this battle. From a strategic point of view, the Queen's main fleet of snake people should already be attacking those star systems. If her fleet received news and retreated, it might even put the Queen in danger. So, she had no choice now. Send my orders. All ships, rush to this coordinate. Commander Ching Man ordered the attack. Her current position was not far from the battlefield. Soon, she reached the edge of the battle zone, and her starship radar showed energy signals from both fleet's ships. But at the same time, she saw an unexpected scene. The wreckage of several T-3 interstellar warships stood in the distant space. Why? She was sure those wrecks were T-3 ships, because such large wreckage could only belong to T-3 ships. Carefully examining the wreckage, she quickly identified their types. 1 T-3 Acom-class medium-sized starship, 3 T-3 Statue-class medium-sized ships, and several T-2 starships. Looking further away, she saw more wreckage of T-2 and T-1 starships. And even farther, the two fleets engaged in battle. What's happening here? Commander Ching Man was surprised. What did that man do to destroy 4 T-3 ships of the enemy fleet so quickly? And it seemed his fleet hadn't lost a single ship. It was hard to believe, but the facts were right in front of her. Now, she was starting to believe that the man's orders might actually have some reason behind them. Although I don't know what methods that man used to destroy the 4 T-3 interstellar warships and nearly 100 T-2 interstellar warships, the enemy fleet still has nearly 3,000 starships. The battle is still against us. Forget it. Let's trust that guy just this once. Commander Ching Man continued leading his fleet to push toward the enemy fleet's rear. At this moment, Han Tianhuang's fleet also detected the star fleet behind them and realized these were all Snake People starships. Why are Snake People starships here? Han Tianhuang was a bit surprised. The pirate leader said, "It seems our attack on the Snake Queen fleet was discovered. They are probably here to get revenge." Meanwhile, two other clan leaders received bad news. The leader of the Black Pig clan said gloomily, "Han Xiao, I just received the latest news from my galaxy. That Snake People woman actually dared to attack my galaxy. And she also attacked our Gabwa clan's galaxy," added the Gabwa clan leader with concern. The Fire Lizard clan leader felt uneasy. Although he hadn't received a call for help from his base, since the Snake People attacked these two forces, he couldn't be left out. We don't need to worry about those Snake People for now. First, let's destroy this fleet in front of us. After that, supporting other galaxies can wait. Sun Xiao has always wanted to deal with the Snake People, and this time, I will settle the so-called Snake Queen for Sun Xiao. Han Tianhuang sneered. Doing this could earn him a good impression from the forces behind Sun Xiao. The Black Pig clan leader and the Gabwa clan leader had no objections to this plan. The star fleet in front of them was almost destroyed. It was just a matter of time. Moreover, their own fleet had already lost many T-2 and T-3 starships in the attack. If they let these enemies go now, they would feel uncomfortable inside. Supporting their own galaxy was not a matter of time. Soon, they would realize they missed the last chance. Report. The flagship of the enemy fleet, a T-3 Blizzard-class light starship cruiser, suddenly accelerated and is charging straight toward our fleet. Suddenly, a message alarmed everyone. Han Tianhuang looked at the starship radar, where a T-3 Blizzard was rushing toward his fleet at high speed. Is Zhao Chun a fool? Even if his T-3 Blizzard is strong, can it really fight 1,000 ships alone? I have nearly 3,000 interstellar warships here. Han Tianhuang chuckled arrogantly, sitting comfortably in his captain's chair. Then he issued an order. Send my command. Full attack on that T3 Blizzard. As long as we take down this T3 Blizzard-class ship, Zhao Chen won't have a chance to turn things around. As for the 500 star ships of the Snake People's fleet behind, forget about them for now. Han Tianhuang's fleet starships began locking onto the T3 Blizzard. Although it had a star shield, it was only a front shield. Moreover, with so many of our starships, are we afraid of just one T3 starship? Warning! 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 Interstellar missiles detected on the way. Warning! 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 Interstellar missiles detected on the way. Warning! Warning! Suddenly, almost all the starship's alert systems sounded again on the bridge. Han Tianhuang jumped up in surprise, exclaiming, "What's going on? How are there still interstellar missiles?" Report. Behind that small asteroid, two T2 interstellar missile ships appeared, identical to the previous T2 missile ship. Came an urgent intelligence update. At the same time, a view from a deep space telescope was shown. On the opposite side, Zhao Chen's fleet had a small asteroid behind it, and faintly visible behind the asteroid were two Starship missile ships. The answer was clear. Using the asteroid as cover, Zhao Chen had secretly arranged for two Starship missile ships to hide there in advance. The previous slow retreat was probably just a tactical withdrawal, because now, Zhao Chen's fleet had stopped retreating. Prepare for defense. Intercept those missiles. Han Tianhuang shouted hysterically. Just one T2 Starship missile ship had already caused him to lose many T2 starships, with 500 missiles. If two more appeared, how many ships would be lost? If the losses become too great, even if they defeat Zhao Chen, Sun Shao wouldn't let him go. Sweat beads dripped down Han Tianhuang's forehead. What surprised him even more was that the T3 Blizzard-class light interstellar battleship didn't care at all about the starship's missile attacks, even seeming to move in sync with the interstellar missiles. The scene was truly spectacular. That Zhao Chen is just a madman, Han Tianhuang said in fear. On the bridge of the T3 Blizzard-class light interstellar battleship, Charlotte looked at the holographic star battlefield map, which showed red circles and the flight paths of the incoming star missiles. She shared intelligence with two T2 Lion King-class heavy star missile ships, knowing their attack routes in advance. Her job was to choose the best route through the missile attack, avoid dangerous areas, and launch a surprise attack on the enemy fleet. Although this method was very risky, the most dangerous places are often the safest. The T3 Blizzard could use the chaos of the missile attack to cover its own strike. Zhao Chen sat in the captain's chair, enjoying this exciting moment. He felt his blood boil with excitement. This was the thrill of interstellar war. Soon, the first wave of star missile explosions occurred, creating a swirling blast that even affected the T3 Blizzard. Zhao Chen watched calmly as the explosion clouds formed. It was the first time he had seen a star missile explosion so close. He wondered how Han Shao was feeling. Was it beautiful or not? At the edge of the missile barrage, a T3 starship with a speed over 200 knots was rushing wildly. It was very close to the missile attack zone, narrowly avoiding several explosions. If it had been a few seconds later, the missile blasts could have hit the T3 Blizzard-class light battleship. Once, a destroyed enemy T2 starship debris was thrown by a huge shockwave and even crashed into the T3 Blizzard's hull. This showed how close the T3 Blizzard was to danger. The captains of the two attacking T2 Lion King-class heavy star missile ships behind them were trembling with fear. If it weren't for Charlotte's earlier message, which instructed them to follow the attack plan they made and ignore the existence of the T3 Storm Snow, they probably wouldn't dare to fire their weapons now. Despite that, they are still very nervous. With each attack, they must make sure all their interstellar missiles hit the target area accurately, without too much deviation. Even a small mistake makes their hearts tighten with fear. Remember, their commander is on that T3 Storm Snow. The T3 Storm Snow, which is in a dangerous situation, is not idle. Its main guns, secondary guns, and closed defense weapons are all firing tirelessly. 50 Storm Snow-class interstellar drones have been launched to act as wingmen for the T3 Storm Snow, constantly attacking nearby enemy ships. The Storm Snow light interstellar missiles are also ready. Each missile is aimed precisely at a T2 interstellar battleship, aiming to destroy it directly. So far, this has been 100% successful. The missiles hit, ships are destroyed, and lives are lost. Han Tianwang watches the holographic battlefield image. The T3 storm snow rushes into his fleet like it's uninhabited, heading straight for the center of his fleet. It seems to be targeting his flagship. At this moment, the heavily damaged T3 Arkham-class medium interstellar battleship nearby begins to retreat slowly, surrounded by many Fire Lizard starships. The Fire Lizard leader has seen the power of this T3 battleship before. He watched one of his own ships destroyed by it. Stop that ship. Han Tianwang feels the danger too. He orders his fleet to intercept the T3 storm snow. We can't stop it. Its route is always accompanied by interstellar missile attacks. Our ships are affected and can't launch effective suppressive attacks, the pirate boss in the nearby video window says. The pirate boss looks at the T3 battleship with some fear. It's too crazy, like dancing with death. Even he, a tough interstellar pirate, feels his heart pounding with fear. Report. Our rear flank's 500 snake-human interstellar warships have launched an attack. At this moment, another message came through. The 500 snake-human interstellar warships that Han Tianwang had previously ignored are now also attacking from behind his fleet. These sudden troubles left Han Tianwang feeling a bit overwhelmed. How could this interstellar battle turn out like this? It's completely different from what he imagined. Young Master Han, we can only hold the line for now. We need to survive the enemy's several waves of interstellar missile attacks first, suggested the pirate leader. Then, I guess we have no choice but to do that, Han Tianwang said helplessly. He used to be proud of commanding 3,000 interstellar warships, but now he realizes how small and ridiculous he seems in this cosmic war. But Han Tianwang still tried to comfort himself internally. No matter what, he had a huge fleet of interstellar ships. Even if Zhao Chun had many tricks up his sleeve, he couldn't possibly turn the tide completely. Zhao Chun didn't know if he could turn the tide, but taking down a small Han Tianwang was definitely doable. Warning: the starship's star shield is under attack. Remaining shield energy, 67%. Warning: the starship's hull is under attack. Overall hull strength remaining, 89%. Various messages kept popping up on the T3 Blizzard. Charlotte remained calm and quickly processed all the battlefield information, handling everything smoothly. Mission progress updated. Destroyed 500 enemy ships. Mission completion at 30%. So far, Zhao Qin's Falcon Dragon fleet had destroyed only 500 enemy interstellar warships. It might seem like a small number, but if you look at the data more closely, it's quite terrifying. Among the destroyed ships, for T3 interstellar warships, over 150 T2 ships, and more than 350 T1 ships. And with the continuous falling of interstellar missiles, this number keeps rising. What do these numbers tell us? They show that Zhao Chun has mainly targeted the enemy's T3 and T2 interstellar warships so far. The large number of T1 ships are just a bunch of numbers to Zhao Chun. As long as the T2 and T3 interstellar battleships that can destroy the enemy fleet are available, Zhao Chun is not afraid, even if only 2,000 T1 interstellar battleships remain. Crushing these T1 battleships is as easy as squeezing ants. It's just a matter of using more ammunition. Moreover, by that time, will the enemy fleet still have the fighting spirit to continue? Commander, according to the system prediction, after the two T2 Lion King ships complete their current attack, we will be able to directly destroy over 200 T2 interstellar battleships. Additionally, an equal number of T2 ships will suffer varying degrees of damage, which will affect their combat ability. So far, our plan is progressing very smoothly, Ailey reported nearby. The enemy has a total of only 800 T2 interstellar battleships, and most of the 200 T2 ships that have fallen are main combat ships. The remaining are starship escorts. Although the enemy's fleet is shrinking slowly, their overall combat power has already dropped by about 1/3. At this moment, Charlotte's eyes fixed on a T3 interstellar battleship. It was a T3 Pufferfish-class medium-sized starship destroyer. This T3 Pufferfish had already aimed its main gun at the T3 Blizzard, and the T3 Blizzard's bow cannon had already locked onto it. How dare a single starship destroyer engage in a duel with the T3 Blizzard? Charlotte sneered coldly, showing her sharp teeth. You're asking for death. The T3 Blizzard-class light starship battleship's heavy fusion laser cannon finished charging, and a blue beam of concentrated lasers shot straight at the locked T-3 pufferfish-class destroyer. At the same time, the pufferfish also fired a laser beam. But the difference between them was like a small toothpick versus a hot dog. Both beams hit each other's shields. The collision of the laser beams with the shields was like an asteroid hitting a planet. On the bridge of the T-3 pufferfish-class destroyer, warning, the starship shield is under attack. Shield energy remaining, 95%, 90%, 85%, 80%, 75%. The Black Pig leader was terrified and stood up abruptly from the captain's chair. He knew the enemy's starship was very powerful, but the main cannon's firepower was terrifying. His starshield's energy was dropping faster than he had ever seen before. Gulp! The Black Pig leader swallowed hard. Just one burst laser shouldn't be able to break my T-3 porcupine star shield directly. He stared intently at the flickering numbers, which changed from green to yellow, then settled at 15%. The Black Pig leader sank into his captain's chair, wiped the sweat from his forehead, and let out a long breath. What kind of starship was this? Its attack was so frightening. He immediately ordered to increase the distance from this starship and to add more ships. Suddenly, he heard a warning from the starship system. Warning! Incoming star missiles. Warning! Incoming enemy ship shells. The Black Pig leader looked out the window at the scene outside the starship. He saw 3-star missiles hit the star shield one after another. Then, the star shield shattered directly. Warning! Star shield under attack. Remaining energy 10%, 5%, 0%. Warning! Starship star shield system energy depleted. The Black Pig leader's face turned pale, and his pupils dilated. The radar showed 4 electromagnetic cannon shells heading straight for the ship. These were the 4 2,500 mm caliber medium electromagnetic main guns of the T-3 Blizzard. A loud bang sounded in his ears. His ship's armor was hit. The entire bridge shook, and sparks flickered inside. The lights on the bridge suddenly dimmed. Then emergency lights came on, but they were much dimmer than before. Cough, cough. Before he could react, he felt the ground beneath him give way. He looked down in horror at an opening beneath his feet. A terrifying suction pulled him into the... As he was pulled out, he saw the cross-section of his starship. Then he found himself in space, noticing large cracks on the ship's hull. And then, his consciousness faded away. Report, our ship's next 4 electromagnetic cannon shells successfully hit the bridge of that T-3 Pygmy, tearing the enemy ship's hull. That T-3 Pygmy has lost its combat ability, Ailey quickly reported to Zhao Chen. At the same time, a system notification sounded in Zhao Chen's ears. Mission progress updated. Destroyed 1 T-3 interstellar battleship. Progress 35%. Mission progress updated. Killed the target Black Pig leader. Progress 40%. It seems that the T-3 Pygmy-class medium interstellar destroyer is the flagship of the Black Pig leader. If it were an ordinary interstellar battleship, your ship might withstand this attack. But unfortunately, you're facing a T-3 Blizzard. You chose the wrong opponent, Zhao Chen said calmly. Destroying a T-3 interstellar battleship with a T-3 Blizzard is just an ordinary event, and it continues to speed forward. When passing by another T-3 statuary-class medium interstellar ship, they also destroyed it directly. This T-3 statuary was the same ship that had been heavily damaged but not destroyed earlier during the attack by the T-3 Phantom Stinger-class light interstellar stealth bomber. Now, the T-3 Blizzard only needs 1 round of fire to finish it off. Mission progress updated. Destroyed 1 T-3 interstellar battleship. Progress 45%. Warning. Our ship is locked on by the main gun of a T-3 Poison Scorpion-class medium interstellar cruiser. The system alert sounded, but Zhao Chen remained calm. Charlotte had already adjusted the star shield to face the T-3 Poison Scorpion. If the concentrated fire hits the shield, it will cause ripples. Warning, the starship's star shield is under attack. Remaining shield energy, 42%. Zhao Chen watched the T-3 Poison Scorpion. If he guessed correctly, among the remaining T-3 interstellar ships, this one is probably Han Tianwang's flagship. Report, the shield system of this T-3 interstellar battleship is too strong. It far exceeds the shield system of a typical T-3 battleship cruiser, the deputy captain said helplessly beside Han Tianwang. I don't want excuses. I want that T-3 Blizzard destroyed. Han Tianwang grabbed the vice captain's collar and scolded angrily. The vice captain looked helpless and said, "This is the truth. That T3 interstellar battleship, although classified as a battleship cruiser, is so powerful that even other battleships would have to call it, 'Boss, who designed this crazy interstellar battleship? It's too overpowered.' Report. Our fleet was attacked from behind by 500 snake-human interstellar battleships. Due to the chaos in formation, we suffered heavy losses. Report. The enemy fleet in front has started to attack actively. 1 T2 battleship and 10 T2 ships are attacking us. Our front fleet is struggling to hold on." A crew member reported a series of bad news. Han Tianwang roared, "You can't handle that T3 blizzard, and you can't stop those 500 snake-human battleships. Now you can't even deal with 1 battleship and 10 ships?" Faced with Han's scolding, the vice captain and others looked at each other helplessly. The vice captain spoke up, "Han, it's not that we're useless. These interstellar battleships are just too strange. You don't believe it? Look for yourself. This T2 ship is actually riding on the face of our T2 destroyer to attack, and that T2 battleship directly targeted our T3 Guardian-class medium interstellar ship." Han Tianwang looked at the display window. Sure enough, a T2 battleship was heading straight toward one of their T3 stone-like medium interstellar ships. That was one of their remaining 2 of 5 T3 ships. T3 Stone Guardian-class medium interstellar ship. Bridge Chief Gubo was on this ship, which was also his flagship. The Gubo clan was the weakest among these factions, so they could only use cheaper but durable and cost-effective interstellar ships as their flagship. But unexpectedly, a T2 battleship had targeted him this time. Even though the Gubo clan had always been bullied, that didn't mean a T2 battleship could just bully them. Rapid-fire cannons, prepare. A mere T2 battleship wants to bully my T3 battleship? They really think the Gubo clan has no temper. The clan leader Gubo snorted coldly. The rapid-fire cannons on his T3 stone statue warship locked onto the T2 interstellar battleship ahead. But unexpectedly, a massive main cannon emerged from the enemy's bow. When he saw the size of that cannon, the Gate clan leader was stunned. It was clearly an electromagnetic railgun with a caliber of nearly 2,000 millimeters. Normally, only T3-class interstellar destroyers would be equipped with such a weapon. Yet now, this kind of main cannon appeared on a T2 battleship. It was unbelievable. The Gate clan leader had a bad feeling. Warning: a group of interstellar drones is approaching our ship. The sudden alert startled him. Looking closely, he saw 20 to 30 interstellar drones speeding toward his vessel. Strange. Where are our drones? The clan leader asked in surprise. If he remembered correctly, their fleet had 2 T2 carrier ships. "Chief, both of our T2 carriers have lost combat capability," the adjutant said, opening a display. The clan leader looked and was shocked to see the 2 T2 carriers reduced to burning wrecks, their hulls looking like ruins struck by countless blasts. He was speechless. "Forget it. Use our closed defense guns to intercept those drones. There are only a few dozen of them. They can't cause much trouble," he said impatiently. But the next second, his words were proven wrong. The drones dove toward the T3 stone statue. Leading the charge were T2 Killer B-class medium drones, covering 5 T2 Hornet-class heavy drones behind them. Several Killer B drones were hit and exploded into fireballs, but the Hornet drones had already entered attack range. They began releasing their interstellar bombs. Instead of targeting the ship's hull, the bombs aimed at its energy shield. Warning: Starship shield under attack. Shield energy remaining 34%. The clan leader was shocked. Just a few dozen bombs had drained nearly 30% of his shield's power. The other parts that were damaged were caused earlier by attacks from the T3 Phantom Stinger-class light interstellar stealth bombers and the T3 Blizzard-class light interstellar battleship. "Those flies," clan leader Gate cursed, but after those flies dropped their interstellar bombs, they returned to resupply. He could only watch helplessly. "Leader, that T2 interstellar battleship has entered our firing range," the deputy officer warned. "Then let's attack that overconfident T2 battleship," Gate said angrily. "If your interstellar drones run away, then it's time to deal with your T2 battleship." At this moment, the T3 statue-mounted medium rapid cannon began its attack. However, These shots didn't do much damage to the enemy's T2 battleship. They only left small dents on its front armor. This ship's armor, Gate was stunned, unsure whether to praise the enemy's armor for being strong or to criticize his rapid cannon for being too weak. The rapid cannon's power is lower than most main guns on various types of starships, but it has the fastest firing rate. It is usually equipped on interstellar ships and cruisers, relying on high firing speed to intercept or attack enemies. But it's okay, keep fighting a little longer. Soon, we can turn this T2 battleship into scrap metal. Gate muttered to comfort himself. T2 Snow Wolf class heavy interstellar battleship. Bridge, warning. Front armor under attack. Remaining armor strength, 75%. Shin Bing, sitting in the captain's chair, stared intently at the T3 statue across from her. Yes, she is the captain of this T2 Snow Wolf. After joining Zhao Qin's Falcon Dragon fleet, she thought she would serve as a crew member in a bridge department, probably as a deputy officer at most. Unexpectedly, Zhao Qin directly assigned her to command this T2 Snow Wolf. She was shocked at first. Later, as she became familiar with the ship's capabilities, she was even more stunned. This firepower configuration, could it really be just a T2 class interstellar battleship? It seemed more like a T3 interstellar destroyer disguised as a T2 battleship, or even a T3 battleship. Although it lacks a star shield, its ship armor is second only to the T2 Black Rhinoceros class interstellar heavy frigate. As for the 1,800 mm caliber electromagnetic cannon, it is unheard of among T2 interstellar battleships. The 1,200 mm caliber main gun of the Zero Storm earlier had already surprised many people. Moreover, this one is an 1,800 mm caliber. If the instructors and students at the Northern Star Starship Military Academy saw this, they would probably be amazed. Since Zhao Qin entrusted her with this important task, Shin Bing's pride would not allow her to betray that trust in any way. Before the battle started, she studied the T2 Snow Mastiff and the possible enemy starships in the fleet. In just a few days, she learned everything about the active starships in the Reef Star domain. She doesn't have Charlotte's rich combat experience, nor is she a genius like Zhao Wanner. As a civilian girl, her only option was to work hard and prepare early. Finally, after seeing the enemy fleet before her and understanding Zhao Qin's strategic plan, she formed a clear idea of her own battle plan. Her goal was to destroy at least one T3 statue. Yes, even before the battle began, she set herself the target of destroying a T3 statue. Now, that target is right in front of her. The T2 Wasp Queen-class heavy carrier starship also carried out a round of shield bombardment on the enemy ships, as she requested. Although it didn't destroy the shields directly, it was within her plan. By now, the shield energy of the T3 statue-class medium interstellar frigate is estimated to be less than 35%, Shun Bing muttered. As for the attacks currently on the ship, she was completely calm. She knew that the rapid-fire guns on the T3 statue would need nearly 5 minutes of continuous attack to break through the armor of the T2 Snow Mastiff. 5 minutes. Enough for her to take down this T3 starship. 6 pulse laser secondary guns, open fire now. 20 seconds later, the Snow Mastiff's electromagnetic cannon fired.